Alrighty, hello everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. I am your host Din. It's been a while since I was in the seat, but it's good to be back. I am here with Yoshi and we're going to be commentating this Winners Bracket Round 2 match. It is Cavern versus FantaTanked. Let's move on over to the stream. Here we go. So, looking forward to this one?
I'm excited. These are two fairly new players within the rando scene, at least, who've come from very different kind of ends of the scale. This is going to be a really interesting race because they're two of the kind of players that people know a little less about the playstyles on and that kind of thing. Really excited to see how this one goes.
Kind of slightly more of dark horses, really. Fanta's been around for a little while at this point. It's been involved in speedrunning for ages, of course, but been playing rando slightly more recently. But as you said, has made quite an impression. So looking good so far. Obviously, won the first match, and Cavern. I didn't catch his first match. So I can't remember who he was up against, but
Keizo.
Oh, that's a tough one to beat. So kudos to him.
Yeah, previous top 32ers as well in that.
Yeah.
So they both took out former top 32ers, so yeah, it's interesting because Fanta's obviously got the bingo background primarily, but the big OoT history there, and Cavern just kind of shot up from the Scrubs community, and I know that within the last year there was they did the tournament there, and Cavern was the runner-up in the highest division. And that was only maybe half a year ago, if that.
Yeah. That's definitely quite an improvement. So this seed, interesting hash we got at the top there. It's almost slightly symmetrical. Looks like we've got Child Start, Forest Medallion, and Requiem. So that sounds pretty nice, to be honest. Almost too nice, perhaps.
It's one of those ones where you're okay, so you're gonna get a song early. It's a good excuse to test. You'd probably do that as adult. A good excuse to test the save warp potentially. But
because you're starting as child, so. Right. You're probably not going straight over to Requiem, but who knows, you might want to just go grab it, because if it's Saria's or ZL or something, then that can help out the early game quite a bit. So there's a few reasons you might want to go out there straight off, just kind of get it out of the way. So we'll see if any of them choose to go for that. Here we go. Fanta's going for it, straight after Requiem, and Kevin's going to explore Zora's domain.
5 rupees and then Requiem. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Get your money off the ground, I guess. Alright, so they're both going to grab the song straight off.
Right. I feel like we're going to have to make a few efforts not to be biased here. It's been a while since there's been a top 32 runner from the UK.
Okay, I think that's a purple rupee up there on the archway. We've got sort of time from Requiem, so that's not the greatest one we could have gotten there, but oh well. And we've got to hint the Temple of Time as way the hero, so we know that Forest Medallion is going to give us something good, and we also know it's not going to give us ZL, so that's going to be an interesting one. So ZL can never be hinted as a way the hero, and that is the only. There is only one check in Temple of Time, which is the song, so we know.
It's interesting, in a weird way, it's Temple of Time normally, especially with Forest Med Start, is one of those ones where you're great, I get this it's a thing that you're just going to pick up on the way anyway. It's very little information for you, but the fact that it's this early when ZL can't be hinted is actually kind of nice, because you can get that, you can stay child for a while longer. One of the songs that can really pay you out for going adult and picking up those songs is ZL. So.
Yeah, although it does of course mean it might just be on the windmill, because ZL has a tendency to be early regardless, so The fact that it's not on Prelude doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be early.
Or like, yeah, it could always be something like, I don't know, Minuet leading to the L.
Yeah, it could be. Both runners going for the Zora's domain checks here, get them out of the way. It's kind of a slow area to do, really. You only get 2 checks and it's good, like, a minute and a half you have to spend here getting them, which isn't great, but when you start here, you might as well get it done. And we saw a hint there that 30 skulls is dead as well. Thank you, chat.
Interesting that both runners are going this way around. There's kind of been the thing recently of doing the kind of flame storage strats to go through and end up at the bottom. It's just a little bit faster to get to river, but I mean, if both are doing the same thing, then neither one's gaining or losing time on either end.
Yeah, this particular check has had like so many meta changes. Like since Rando started becoming Rando, there's just been so many different methods just to do this one check. It's kind of weird, really, when you think about it. So a lot of checks have just like been pretty much the same since like 1.0, but then this one, there's been like a different strategy pretty much every season for it.
Right, because originally you weren't allowed flame storage, so there had to be a kind of backup to that. And then when flame storage came in, it's like, okay, now you can do this instead, and then it slowly got optimized further and further and further. And yeah, it kind of has changed every season, actually.
No items of any use in there whatsoever, though. So moving on to the river by the look of it.
Interesting that, yeah, Kevin's already pulled 818. Which name are we going with, Kevin? 818?
I'll go with Kevin, I think.
About 3 times.
I was Bolero on OOC, so probably not going to be needing all dungeons today.
Yeah, not great, not... Like, sometimes useful to have for convenience sake, but yeah, never the worst one to see. Yeah, like, it's interesting seeing just how far ahead Kevin has got on execution, basically, here, and movement. You know, pretty much the same rupee counts. Obviously, Kevin's grabbed some more on the way down. There we go. Now let's... Oh, sorry, Fanta's 1 up.
Almost the same.
Yeah, basically the same. But, like, yeah, it's interesting seeing that kind of difference there. Interesting that Fanta's writing in a couple of extra rupees there as well.
Yeah, Fanta going for the safe route on rupees. Just on the safe side, that looks like it's a Hylian shield up on lower heart piece. So Team Nevermind Shield is the winner today.
You probably just grab that now, like, save the time, honestly, but... And the rupees, more importantly.
Yeah, getting that shield is probably quicker than actually going into the shop and buying one, so... You might as well grab it. Yeah, unfortunately Kevin lost his chicken there. Looks like he's just going to give up on doing the grotto for now and just go back out into Hyrule Field. Or he's grabbing the skull first, then I'll move on, I guess. Yeah, it's 1 check for that grotto, and there's something you can potentially just do as an adult as well, so not the end of the world to leave it right here.
I haven't really touched on it, but like the main start is always an interesting one to me because like the main or river, because that's the one that gives you the most kind of diversity in your routing options. Is like, do you go to London Ranch? Do you go to Kokiri Forest? It's interesting that they have both ended up going thorough through Zora River, and as a result, it's turned to night, and they're probably just both going to have to go to Kokiri Forest there.
Yeah, I mean, they could potentially do South Hyrule if they wanted to, maybe into Lon would be another option, but Kokiri's probably the better play right now, I guess. Now we've got another hint there that 20 is dead. So, not looking like it's going to be a big skull seed this time, but I may have to revise that because we've still got 2 hints to go on there. Yeah, Fanta might be going for long play here, or Hyrule Castle, not sure. Ooh, magic.
Yeah, Fanta's time of day is a little nicer for this.
There's magic in the Kokiri sword chest. Nice little find.
Yeah, magic is one that obviously does nothing on its own, I guess, but does mean that if you pick up Feroz, you can immediately just start using it. You know, like a little less likely to get drawn away by things like lens logic or whatever. Oh, strength as well. Yeah,
strength pretty much falls into the same bucket really. On its own, it doesn't really do much, although it does do a little bit more than magic, and you can get into Dodongos.
Strength definitely got far better in Season 4 than it used to be, the first strength, because before it used to be, you know, oh, well, you're going to have explosives 9 times out of 10 before DC anyway, whereas now it's like, no, actually, you can be bottlenecked by that strength sometimes pretty spectacularly.
Yeah, it's always a little bit annoying as well when that happens. You have to go into DC with like just a strength upgrade and like no bow, no explosives. It's kind of slow doing that, which is not very fun, but yeah, sometimes needs must. Vanilla Epona song there. We've also got a hint that Fire Temple is foolish outside Lost Woods, so no items for us in there today.
Not especially surprising, but always a good one to find, just so you don't get drawn into deep fire for any unnecessary reason.
Yeah, possibly still on the boss key hunt, depends on whether we actually need to do that dungeon or not.
Right.
We'll have to see on that.
That's always the way, right? If fire's a medallion and foolish, then the boss key is like, at least upper maze.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm really curious, like, obviously the divergence here is, like, pretty irrelevant, because they're both gonna just go and do both of these things, one after the other. But, like, it is really interesting to me that they have split this early.
Yeah, I think it was just time of day that was really driving that. Like I said earlier, for Kevin, it was pretty much a case of he didn't really have much choice in doing this because it was nighttime still. This was really the only sensible option, whereas Fanta had the choice of different places, and seeing as time of day had worked out quite nicely for him at this point, it kind of made sense just to take advantage of that and go do Lon Lon first. Song of Storms, courtesy of Saria there.
Storms is an interesting one, because I was expecting that to be Temple of Time, but I guess it's probably Nocturne.
Yeah, probably. I mean...
I guess it could still be Forest Access, it could still be Sun Song, but like...
Yeah.
Nocturne is the most likely at this point.
50 Skulls is dead. And that's Graveyard Way of the Hero.
Graveyard Way of the Hero, like, there you go. I said the Song of Time could be... sorry, Temple of Time could be Sun Song, that one. I wouldn't expect it, but it's possible.
Anything's possible. Well, most things anyway.
I know that check definitely has a couple of fond, I'll say fond memories, and people can argue with me later, for a lot of people involved in Season 4, because the first ever Season 4 test race with something close to what ended up being the final settings was all dungeons for Sun Song for Go Mode Kokiri sword in that grave, so
nice.
Some very fond memories.
Well, at least we know Samsung isn't all dungeons this time, although it could still be somewhere a bit nasty, like Ice Cavern or something. Right, Kevin heading over to do his long run now, I think. So yeah, both our runners just covering each other's tracks at this point.
The ordering on this is probably working out better for Kevin than it did for Fanta because they didn't pick up a warp song. Fanta's going to have to walk back from Kokiri Forest across to Market, whereas Kevin is at Lon Lon, can just walk straight out and go.
Yeah, did Fanta get some bomb shoes, or did I imagine that?
I didn't see any. They got the hint that 20 was 5, but...
Oh, yeah, that was it. So yeah, Fanta's pretty much got no option, I suppose, other than to do that walk back to Market at this point. Not going to find anything particularly useful here in Lost Woods, and as you say, no warp songs. So mildly unfortunate, but I don't think it's too bad. I mean, Kevin had to do that walk as well, of course, just did it earlier, so it's not going to split them out too much.
Yeah, it's more that, like, Fanta went Lon Lon to Forest, past Lon Lon to Market, whereas Kevin's gonna go straight to Forest, then Forest, Lon Lon, Market in order. Won't be the biggest difference, but one of those little things that can just build up over time.
Yeah, I suppose Fanta maybe has the option of doing South Hyrule after this. But I'm not sure how well that would line up with time of day, and obviously if it doesn't line up, Fanta's going to be a bit stuffed, because if he can't get into Market when he needs to, he's not really going to have many other options left open. So yeah, I'm not sure on that one, and I don't know whether Fanta will want to risk it or not. Maybe Fanta knows more about how the time of day would work out for that. I can't really figure out in my head whether that would actually be sensible or not, like whether it's even in the right ballpark for being able to get into Market, but yeah. That's why I'm not in top 32.
It's probably close, but probably involves a little of, like, extra commitment. Just doing kind of a little bit of waiting or going for, like, dare I say, back of lake hints that everyone likes to ignore now.
Yeah, back of lake hints typically only get seen if someone needs to actually waste time of day.
Yeah. There's like the ultimate desperation play at this point, is if you're taking back a lake hints, you know you're in a bad shape. Like.
Yeah. Either that or you just got a really, really bullshit seed and you just need to find something, and okay, Lost Woods is foolish.
Good timing on that.
Yeah. Decides to go for the scrub anyway and get scammed. Fanta has only got himself to blame on that one.
Might have got shoes. It's probably worth checking, honestly. If that was a 20 pack of bomb shoes there,
yeah,
you don't care.
It's always a possibility, and Fanta had the rupees to spare, so probably not too concerned about that, really.
Right, already picked up a shield, doesn't really have anything for a while to spend the rupees on. At least not until Market, and then you're like, well, you know, if you get a bomb bag here and you're going to Market, you can just farm the bridge to do bomb shoe bowling. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin.
N-A-A-M.
100% NAAIM.
See, I know that's the joke and everything, but in Rando, it's very much like you've got kind of like the French aim and then everyone else.
Ooh, hook shot though. That's a nice little find.
Hook is always an awkward one because, like, it's weird because Hook feels like it does a lot. And it will, eventually. But right now, it does almost nothing. It's like, okay, you could go and dip Forest. And, like, I don't know, some people don't like going out of logic, and some people don't like dipping Forest without the bow. So it's like, between the two, are you really going to go and do that? Probably not.
Yeah, I can see considering maybe doing a forest dip if you find Minuet, just because it's nice and easy to get back in there. Obviously, that's not turned up yet, so we'll have to see. Ice Cavern is Way of the Hero, and Kokiri Forest Way of the Hero, which will be for the magic, I guess, or maybe the strength. Probably more likely to be the magic.
Ice Cavern and Temple of Time is an interesting one here, given the songs they've already got.
Yeah, it could be an item over here, potentially. It's always possible with Ice Cavern, obviously not possible with Temple of Time. We're going to see what that song is right now. Is it going to be Sun Song? No, that is Sarius.
So Forest access to get ZL would be my guess, but it could actually likely, just be Saria. Could just be Darunia. There's always a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, that was... what was that? Yeah. Spirit, Jabu, Water...
Deku and Jabu.
So fire is a stone. Foolish stone fire for Bolero. That is incredibly nice.
Yeah, that has actually worked out quite nicely for runners. They're not going to have to walk into Fire Temple at all. And once they find a bomb bag, they pretty much can ignore the hammer. Yeah, unless the hovers are on Crater, but hopefully the sea doesn't quite that evil.
So I guess at this point, your path is kind of set out for you. You have to go up. I guess maybe you don't dip into Donongo's Cavern, but
Bomb shoes from Angie.
Not bad,
So maybe you dip to Donongo's Cavern. Depends on how many shoes you got there.
We know that one. It has to be a 10 or a 20 because 5 is on 20 skulls.
Yeah, that's true. And 10 packs are enough to clear most of DC, so could go for it. It's Stone Dungeon, of course, so it's not necessarily going to pay out.
Right, and the issue is, like, it puts you back down near Kakariko, and I think at this point the #1 priority has to be getting over to Sacred Forest Meadow and getting the song there.
Yeah, you want to see where that way the hero is leading you.
So going over to... I feel like after all of the Kakariko graveyard stuff, the value is going to be go to Crater, get the song there, go over to Sacred Forest Meadow, get the song there, and then just kind of reassess your options based on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs open at the start here, so getting those sorted early on is probably going to be the best play. Just kind of get your mobility off the line as much as you can.
I think it's likely that Zelda's Lullaby is over there, but that doesn't mean 100%. And
yeah,
if it isn't there, then that gives you other information, because then all of a sudden it's okay. So Saria's is either for Darunia or it's for like something in the forest that then locks Minuet.
Okay, here's our next song. That's Nocturne from the Windmill.
Ooh. Which means Ice Cavern is almost certainly just for an item.
Yeah, there's not really many songs. The only song that can really be Way of the Hero for would be Sun Song. Ooh, fire arrows. And strength. Dampe with the goods today.
Graveyard Way of the Hero. That's looking very heavily towards Strength 3, huh?
It is starting to look that way, isn't it? King Zora has a bomb bag. Ooh, okay. Okay. Well, that's going to be an interesting one. And we did get back a bomb shoes, so probably not the biggest worry for the moment. Oh, hey, paperweight.
So you just get one dungeon. You get a Kokiri sword, so that you can go into Deku Tree, beat that, to go to Ganon's to get blue fire. Straight to King Zora.
Could be. But we need to see how to actually get to King Zora to begin with. Can't actually get it.
It's up in the forest. It's over in the forest.
Ice Cavern can't be Way of the Hero for blue fire.
Right.
Way of the Hero.
Not
Way of the Hero always points to a randomized item of some kind, or a song. But it can't point to things like blue fire or bomb drops or anything like that.
Weird egg. There's always the other one that comes up.
Yeah. Well, not anymore because.
No, less so now, but was always the other one that came up, I guess.
Yeah. Rip Weird Egg.
Good riddance, Weird Egg.
Okay, Fanta's gonna see what the adult spawn is.
This is interesting. I guess most of your options are still pretty good for this potential route. Like, if you end up in Kokiri Forest, you're happy, and that is not one of them. That is not one of the ones you wanted.
Yeah, that's not particularly ideal. I can check the crate, I guess, and the waterfall. Ooh, that's a weird one, actually, because well, we had opponents anyway, but yeah, that means we can get into GTG pretty damn easily. Okay.
Right.
Fanta got
it's good for
there.
later. Yeah. It's good for later, the save walk, but for right now, it is not what you wanted. You wanted to go and get those songs, and now you're just way too far away.
Miles away from any song. 40 skulls is FW, so Rip getting FW this seed.
Right, nice early magic.
Nice early magic, and yeah, for all completely buried, never going to be able to pick it up. That is the Law of Sod, I believe, is the technical term for that one.
So yeah, Kevin using up a couple extra chews there. That's it's a dangerous situation to be in. You've only got these 10 for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I got to be a little bit careful with them. Is he going for the maze?
Got strength 2, so they
Oh
probably
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'll just roll for it.
Oh, Fanta got caught. He's going to get thrown out. Oh no, he's not. He got the hook shot. I forgot. Under these settings, child can't spawn on the on the Greedo side of the valley. Can spawn in the river though. I think that is one of the options, is being thrown into the river right at the start of the seed. A big ore on him there. Didn't see what it was. Who was it? Rupee?
Dead.
Yeah. River is not an option. That's Stag Keck. It should be an option, damn it.
I know they can get the top of Zora River, the like dummied out exit from Zora
the
found
one
him.
that just drops you into the water.
Yeah, you just fall off the waterfall to start.
Okay, that's a bottle up on the volcano there. So not hover boots, but something potentially maybe useful. ZL as well here.
Oh! Oh, wow, so Saria's is... That is unexpected, actually.
Yeah, so Saria's probably looking to be for forest accesses in the temple rather than the song.
Yeah. Or it's Darunia.
Or it's Darunia, yeah.
Meanwhile, the Season 4 play happening over on Fanta's side. Got early GTG access, just go there. Just rush straight there. One check, doesn't matter. Do it.
Just it is a bit more than one check because we got
actually quite a few good ones here. But all or nothing so far, though. I'm just waiting to see a bow show up in the training grounds. Just get the bow, full clear the dungeon. Like, I guess you need to get like... Oh no, they got... Yeah, it's just they need the bow and then they can full clear it, so... Well, pretty much. We don't count iron boots, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's the chances Toilet has something good in it? It almost never does.
Like, you at least get that information of whether it's a check or a key, and then decide whether you're gonna care. And 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna care. Even with the save warp here. Ooh! Another 10 explosives over there for Kevin.
Not too shabby.
Valuable as well, because he is using them pretty aggressively at this point. Has not been save scumming those chews, so finding a few more is definitely valuable. Also, yeah, Kevin never actually checked the scrub, so didn't get the Lost Woods Foolish hint.
Yeah, that hint was in Lost Woods, which is a bit of an annoying place for it to be. He's probably not going to go down and check that as a dog, because there's no actual reason to go down there, apart from the hints. But yeah, it's not too bad as adults, there's only like 2 checks. You can actually do it in Lost Woods anyway, so it's not going to make too much difference. We've got a wallet.
That is
GTG.
really, really good for Fanta. So Fanta also no longer has to worry about explosives quite as much, because with a save warp in Gerudo Valley and access to the carpet salesman, you can just go and buy all the bomb shoes you need.
Yeah, it is a bit of a pricey way to get a hold of explosives, but it does work, so yeah, if worst comes to worst, you've got that option available to you. That is Serenade there from the Minuet check, so definitely wasn't Saria's way of a hero for that.
Alright.
So it's probably going to be something here in Forest Temple, so let's see what we find out.
All surprised to see Ruto's letter show up, or I guess Boomerang would also make sense, Longshot would make sense.
Yeah, it could be almost anything at this stage. We've got a lot of options available to us.
Yeah, the one big thing is that, like, if it's not Darunia, it has to be something that locks a song.
Hmm.
And the 2 big ones for that are going to be Ice Cavern and Burning Kakariko, and, well, letter is needed for both. So it's just basically the ones for Burning Kak that matter.
Pretty much.
Fanta really needs to not get eaten here.
Yeah, that would not be very nice. Likes do 1 heart of damage, and if you get eaten up, you'll A, die, and B, lose your shield and not be able to get it back.
Played that very cautiously at the end there. No keys in the first 2 checks of Forest.
Well, Fanta is a winner. Good for Fanta. You get the somewhat rarely seen Song of Time access to Forest Temple. Normally when you did this place, it's with a bow, so you can get to Courtyard by just using the eye switch, but...
Or you at least get a key to just do the Floormaster recoil, but...
Yeah, no keys so far in here for us, here apart from the boss key. Piece. So I think now the last 2 checks are both going to have to be keys. Or at least one of them has to be, because otherwise you'd be completely locked out. If the next one isn't the key, then we're hover boots locked.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Fanta got to check out pretty much all of GTG there, actually, apart from the bowlock checks. Still 1 key missing.
The early strength 2 is actually really nice for that, for sure.
Yeah, no items though, unfortunately, so... not really gaining much so far. Hammer and Forest sample.
Oh, that is not what you wanted to see in Forest.
Yeah, well, that's not bad, really. That's not bad. I mean, gives you access to a lot of grottos and rocks and that sort of thing. It means you can save on your chew count. So that's not terrible.
Right. It's a useful item, but if you're following the way of the hero logic, Hammer is not the thing you wanted to see here.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the Hammer's way of the hero for something just like Crater Fairy or something like that. It's not likely to be so you can clear Fire Temple, because Bolero is just leading to us to a bottle. But I don't really see a world in which that bottle locks hover boots, although I suppose it's possible.
Unless it's the letter. If it was letter, then maybe. But yeah, no. I think it's more that, like, it's always kind of interesting when you get like a Saria's way of the hero and you follow, you're like, oh, it has to be an item. And if it's basically just, oh, the hammer is your equivalent explosives, then it's kind of underwhelming again. You're just left with no direction whatsoever.
Pretty much.
We are seeing the Dodongo's Cavern dip as well.
We are indeed. They both got the song from Temple of Time. That was Saria. Another hit for Kokiri.
At this point is like a reasonably valuable play. The issue being, it's probably the best option you've got in terms of checks, but on Fanta's side, you're still missing those 2 songs as well.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a good option for Kevin, because of course he has that hammer, which is going to make Dodongos a lot quicker and easier. Fanta has to take the slow route with the bomb flowers, which is not ideal.
I guess, yeah, the hammer speeds up a couple of things. For the most part, you end up just having to use strength a lot of the time anyway, but... Well, I guess for this and a couple higher up. But, also, yeah, Kevin's already picked up those songs, been partway through Forest, and, well, still doesn't have any particularly good options for checks, so it definitely makes sense to do DC at that point, I think.
Yeah, I think this one's kind of looking like our most useful option. And Kevin, of course, could be thinking GTG, since he's not been there yet. But, yeah, for now, just sticking with the mountain area.
Yeah, I imagine at some point after all of this, we'll see Kevin safe quit. And that safe quit is to immediately funnel you into Gerudo Training Grounds, just because you've got almost all the items for it, and where else are you going to go when you're at the 10 already? Yeah,
I don't think Kevin's checked his save warp yet, so it's going to be a slight surprise for him to find himself in the valley, but probably a useful one since he's not explored that area at all yet.
It's gunning straight for this fairy right now, which is... I get it. I don't know if I agree with it, but I understand it.
Yeah, following that way the hero, I guess, sort of.
Yeah, this is definitely a play towards the hints, and... Like, I understand doing that, I just think it's a little early to be committing to doing that.
Yeah, there's arguably slightly better stuff that Kevin could be doing right now.
Also, having that hammer, Kevin is going to be able to do Gerudo Valley Hammer Rocks, which is going to be a nice little bonus. Not a huge amount, but nice to pick up on the way through.
Could be something useful, you never know.
If it's a bow, then that's amazing for Kevin, because then you just full clear Training Grounds first time through.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. But it does also mean Stone Forest is fully clearable as well, which is not quite so nice.
Also worth noting there, yeah, Fanta didn't get anything in Dodongo's Cavern, but did get 200 rupees. So using up the bomb tubes to get the rupees is probably better, because you know you can go and buy them very easily.
Yeah, it's possible he may just save scum the entirety of Dodongo's Cavern, since he doesn't actually need to clear it. So, may kill King Dodongo, and if there's still no items, just reset.
Oh, he only used the 2 on top of the bridge, apparently, anyway. He saved and then used that one. So yeah, in that case, if there's nothing on these 2 checks, you can just reset it all away. And keep the money. Everyone is really pushing for skulls. Already at 11?
Yeah, I don't know if Kevin got the 20 hits or not. Thought he did.
I guess part of that is the forest dip as well. It's so easy to get in and like get a ton of skulls in forest temples. So getting to 11 this early, not the worst thing, but yeah, it's
But yeah, and chat pointing out, of course, Kevin didn't get the 20 hit because it was in river and he fell down.
Right.
So he doesn't actually know the 20's dead, so may end up collecting unnecessary skulls at this point, we'll have to see.
Probably won't complain too much about the explosives, but will complain once you find out they were hinted.
Yeah, it's not really worth the time investment for 5 chews. Alright, what have we got on King Dodongo? Iron Boots.
Keep that one.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep that. So is Dodongo's Cavern required stone dungeon today by the look of things? Doesn't really open up anything else for us to do though. Although I suppose we can, if we really want to, dip Water Temple.
Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, you've got Serenade, you're gonna have to get the boss key eventually. That's probably not a bad idea. But, like... Yeah. Otherwise...
It's a bit scuffed still. Water Temple is just always... I mean, you're never likely to get much in there, because there's just so few items to begin with.
It's one of those things where, like, going until you get the boss key is good, because then it's like, it's just progression at that point. You're going to do it at some point, you might as well go and get the boss key now. And if you find something on the way, great, you got it early. The issue with that is that if there is then something further in, you're that much less likely to go back there because you've already picked up 1 or 2 things on that dip.
Oof. Fanta messing with timing on the bomb flower there. A little unfortunate.
Doing this with bomb flowers is like the hardest thing to time for sure.
Yeah, of course, because Fanta of course couldn't scum those chews he used up in DC, now he's got hardly any left. Not an ideal situation to be in.
Yeah, has the money to go get more in a bit, but...
Yeah. Oh,
wow,
that was rude. Blimey.
I jumped through the explosion.
Luna Goring, he just didn't want any of it today, did he? Oh no, and now Fanta's wasted a chew as well. This is so bad.
Wow, Link the Goron being rude.
Yeah, that is a Goron on a mission today. He is not stopping for anything. Fanta just taking out his frustration on the fence there.
Gotta wait for a while anyway, you might as well do something with your time.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've never seen this whole backing up until, like, backing away strategy to it. Stab the Goron a bit as he's standing up.
Seems like a fairly reasonable thing to do.
Yeah.
The Goron is a purple rupee.
Worth noting as well, by the way, since it came up in chat. Yeah, we can't get the bottle on the crater yet, and so we can't go in. We're not a wallet away from Unclone King Zora just yet. But if fire isn't bomb locked, then we're a bow away from that. So.
So we could oops AD just to get Bolero and get that thing. Well, you need bomb bag to do that anyway because you need a way to buy beans. Actually, no,
I was gonna say
you
would need a scale. Yeah,
we don't need a scale. We don't need a scale because we started in Zora's domain.
Yeah, their save quit was domain. Right, bombs do logically lock their AD anyway, so it is kind of irrelevant, but...
Yeah, because it's just Dongo's Cavern. We also have bombs locking Water Temple because of those irons as well.
And at this point, I can't imagine there's ever a situation where they're going to get a wallet and no other bottle and buy the blue fire, when it's far more likely that they just get to beat a dungeon to go into Ganon's to get blue fire with a bottle.
Yeah, there's no medallion dungeon actually beatable yet, but we would hope that at least one item will turn up that will allow us to beat a dungeon.
Not far away, at least. Mirror Shield for Spirit, and I guess explosives.
Speaking of spirits, looks like Kevin's gonna dip in here, see what we can find on the adult side.
This makes perfect sense, I think. Yeah, you've got so much value in the checks here, and also just get to find out if you have to come back as child at some point.
Yeah, I mean, child spirits is potentially a play worth looking at as well, although it's not in logic just yet. Might be one they want to just get done regardless, since this is medallion spirit, so it's a reasonably high chance that child's eye is going to have something useful on it, even if that thing is just a key.
Right, if they get locked out of adult, like, at that point there's almost no reason to not do child out of logic, because it's like, you know it's required anyway, you might as well just do it.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got a key though, so we're not locked out of adult side. Shame their bows turned up, yeah, we can't do the fire rock checks.
Yeah, that's potentially worrying, but I don't know. I feel like it's
There's a lot of things that can be worrying in the sea, to be honest.
Yeah, those are that little bit more likely to be a key than most of the ones further in, so it's at least a nice saving grace there. Alright, so Fanta now following that Saria's and seeing that actually it's just Serenade, so also gonna dip into Forest.
Yeah, while you're here, you might as well. No Minuet turned up, so you're not going to be able to get back here to Forest Temple for a little while, most likely. Makes sense to dip it while you can. And it just means you can stock up on these Skulltulas as well. No one's checked 10 skulls yet. That could be our answer, potentially. That might be the way of progression.
See, that's interesting to me. Didn't Kevin get 11 in Trail?
Yeah, I think he got his 11. I think
he's more though. Yeah.
He's definitely got 11 by this point, and yeah, I think he was into Dongos when he got to that point.
I know he got the hammer locked one above the Dongo's Cavern. I think that was the 11th one, but I guess probably also got the one on the way down from the crater. So was it 9 going through Kakariko?
Yeah, he's not turned them in yet though, so he might be holding out till he gets to 20 before he goes over to CAC and checks what's on there. With these dungeon dips, of course, getting up to 20 is not going to be too bad for him, so that might be what he's aiming for here. Fanta's not reached 10 yet. I think he's picked up 5 so far.
Right, Forest is really nice for them, but
yeah, still a bit of catching up on that count.
Also, interesting to note, and it probably won't play into things too much, but Kevin in the Forest Dip didn't do the Floor Master. So it'll be interesting to see if Fanta does and if it has anything relevant.
Yeah, the Floor Master chest won't be in logic yet, of course.
Right.
Oh, I kind of forgot about keys, to be honest, but I think in the end we only found 1 key in the courtyard.
Right, because there were 2 checks left and one of them was the hammer, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the Floor Master... Ooh.
Din's fire.
Nice early Dins with magic. There's the Firelock checks and Spirit covered. Still out of logic, because they have no way to hit that switch as a child with 1 key there. That is not available yet, but you're not going to worry too much about the logic. When it's just bombs locking something, you're like, whatever, it'll do.
Yeah, if you spend your time worrying about Spirit Temple logic, you'll never get anything done, like, ever. So, best just leave this and hope for the best.
And the only thing locking them here is, from that room, is a child projectile, and bombs count for that. So, deal. Like, you don't care. As long as you've got a child projectile, those two chests are in logic with 1 key. They had 1 key from adult side, like, that's it. If it's just bombs, who cares?
Fanta not going for the Floor Master chest either, by the looks of things.
That makes sense. I think, like, what you were saying earlier about the keys, if you're pretty much certain it's going to be a key, well, why do it now?
Yeah, I think it has to be a key at this point.
I think
and its hoverboot is locked anyway, so what's the point?
Oh well. No, I guess it wouldn't have to
Light
be
arrows.
a key. It wouldn't have to be a key, but the 3rd key is bow locked no matter what, so even if it isn't a key, well, firstly it's a 1 in 3 at that point to not be a key, and you know you're not going any further anyway. Yeah.
So Spirit Temple hasn't been too bad play for Cavern here. Din's Fire and Light Arrows, and now Slingshot as well turning up.
That is incredibly out of logic.
Yeah, that's miles out by me. That's probably a Slingshot locked Slingshot, although it could be Boomerang locked as well, I suppose. But yeah, still a reasonably useful item to get, although the only check it unlocks for us is in Foolish Lost Woods, so...
Kevin only did the 1 Firelock check, right? In Spirit? Didn't go up to the BMOS room?
I think you're right, yeah.
Okay, because the keys... I didn't see if the map chest was a key either, but the keys could have worked out.
Sword. Ooh. Well,
yeah,
again, we're still miles out of logic here, but that's still a good find.
Yeah. The keys weirdly could have worked out, but at the moment it's just a bomb bag. Like, it's just bomb bag that they were missing for Spirit, pretty much. So,
yeah,
I guess Rang or another Slingshot would help, but isn't necessary.
Yeah, it was needed for logic purposes, but not for any other reason.
Well, might not even be that much. There might not be a key on child side.
True, yeah. Yeah, we had Strength 2 so early in the sea that's makes it a bit weird for Spirits.
I missed where the keys they got were, but they had a couple of keys in Spirit. If they were both locked early, so the first one on adult side, the second one in child climb, and a third one on the BMOS chest would be enough to put the rest into logic with just bombs, basically.
So when the hell are we going to get a bomb bag in this seed? That's the question.
King Zora, apparently, which...
Yeah.
No. So, funnily enough, for King Zora as well, obviously Din's was locked in there by potentially bombs. But the fire arrows were in the graveyard, which is Way of the Hero. Probably for strength, but you know. It is entirely possible that the logic of this seed is a wild mess, and actually Deku Tree is the important piece of the puzzle here, and you were meant to use fire arrows, and the bow is what's locking them out of the logic.
Yeah, that could be the way around it's supposed to be. And yeah, bow could be 10 skulls or some other just weird chat that we're just not seen yet.
Yeah, pick up a bow relatively early in. I don't know. Yeah, 10 skulls is a good example for that. And then you use that to get the Kokiri sword, use that to get a bomb bag so you can go into Spirit and get Dins and everything else.
More bomb cheese there from Richard.
Very good boy today.
We found a lot of bomb cheese so far in this seed. I think we've found nearly all the packs already.
Yeah, actually, we've got the one in Lost Woods, the one... They got one really early, I've already forgotten where that was now. The 5-pack is on 20. Yeah, they're only missing 1 pack, I think.
Nice vanilla piece of heart there from Dampe. Fanta going for more skulls here. But yeah, this makes sense. I think this will bring it up to 10.
I imagine as well this is probably, we'll probably see Cavern follow the same route here. He's probably going to go up to Kakariko to do bottom of the well and get the last 5 skulls he needs for 20 on the way.
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Accidentally picking up the grass, losing that broken stick on Fanta's side.
Well, one thing in Kevin's shoes I'd potentially be thinking about is doing Deku Tree first and doing well afterwards. I mean, coming here kind of makes sense because you've got time of day at this point, so you want to get Dampe done.
Yeah. And also, I guess it's just, you don't have a good way to get to Deku Tree, so, yeah. And you're probably going to do both soon enough anyway.
Yeah, if well has scale in it, that would actually be really helpful at this point for getting to Deku Tree, because getting around is a bit of a nuisance at the moment. Mirror Shield. Ooh,
oh, hello.
That's really interesting, actually, because yeah, Spirit's really open at the moment. If out with that, I think it's full clearable. I want to say now, probably not in Logic. Definitely not in Logic.
Yeah, no, definitely not in Logic without bombs. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, they can do everything in there now. I think there's almost no doubt that Fanta goes to Spirit after bottom of the well as well. Maybe depends on, like, if there's a bow in bottom of the well and Fanta ends up picking up the Kokiri sword, then we can see Deku Tree first and then Spirit. But
I don't know, because Fanta will have to time travel for that. Obviously can't use fire arrows as a child, so I wouldn't imagine he'd want to do Deku Tree straight away.
You still probably go to Spirit. Deku's more likely to have something, but yeah. Also for chat, in Spirit Temple for bombs, there are a couple of checks that need them for the BMOS and the wall in the first room, but the big one is at the top of Spirit. The room with the 2 Lizalfos and the bubbles floating around, the mirrors.
Yeah, the mirror
you need to blow up
room.
that wall. That's the big one.
Yeah, that hard requires explosives, and there's that scale I was just talking about. Is that Commentator's Blessing? So that's going to help Kevin out with routing a bit here. He can get to Deku Tree nice and easily after this.
I think Drew's just come up with the worst possible timeline in chat there, and I love it.
Sounds like the sort of thing that Drewiness will do.
You just have to put hovers on Big Pose, another bottle in Ice Cavern, and another Ruto's Letter in Shadow. And between the lot, they have to do AD to get the bottle on the crater.
Oh yeah, I need to update that command.
Yeah.
Sorry, chat.
I'm gonna be honest. We had the graveyard hint. I didn't even acknowledge the fact that Kokiri sword was there. I think skipping out on doing flame storage as a child makes sense in Fanta's shoes. It's an incredibly slow way to do it, and you've already got magic and fire arrows and Nocturne. So you're coming back here so easily the second you get a bow just to dip it then. There's not much point going out of your way to do the entire flame storage child setup now. I was in Fanta's shoes. Obviously we know Kokiri sword is there and it's great, but
Yeah, given we've already found 2 items in Graveyard, kind of makes it slightly less of an incentive to clear everything out, even though one of those items was, of course, the fire arrows.
Right, fire arrows are a little ambiguous, but strength at this point is massive. Like, the odds of strength 3 being required are like 2 in 3 seeds or something. Above 50% at the very least. And even without that, it's like, well, you've got everything to do Spirit ridiculously early as well.
Fanta's almost certainly going to be making that Spirit play sooner rather than later, I expect. Nice music glitch, by the way.
It was a really good fight, actually, as well. Like, managed to get both hits really well there.
Yeah, that's pretty much textbook dead hand fight there.
I mean, they don't have the opportunity to full clear a Way of the Hero location there, right? We're still missing... And Ice Cavern is Way of the Hero, with Sunsong still missing, with a Graveyard Way of the Hero. It's definitely a dicey one. Like, I don't know. I think the Way of the Hero has already been fulfilled in their shoes. Like, you're going to look at it as the strength until something tells you otherwise.
Strength has never got like the most probability, I guess, if you're kind of trying to work out like what Graveyard's pointing you towards. But yeah, there's the old meme, of course, always full clear your Way of the Heroes. It applies in this case for Graveyard. There's strength 3. Oh, okay, that changes the game a bit.
Right, that absolutely changes things, because now Fanta is looking at it. Okay, it's not for Spirit. All 3 strengths are available ridiculously early. I guess maybe not.
And a lava scale, what the hell?
I guess they don't have bombs to do this in logic, but yeah. I didn't see any of the keys
bomb lock keys?
Actually.
Yeah, I suspect we probably did have a bomb locked key.
But yeah, so that will still change things for Fanta, because now it's that little bit less likely that it's the strength. Still, you know, pretty high odds of strength 3 required, but...
Yeah, it's starting looking like a sort of seed where something's going to turn up in Light Trial.
It is amazing for Kevin, who will beat Deku Tree, and then presumably go adult and go to Ganon's, and then go to Spirit, and just...
Yeah,
you're just hunting the letter. Yeah,
there's a lot of high-density locations that are kind of getting open to us now once we get out of here. And yeah, Kevin can just bash them all out straight away, pretty much. One after the other.
And then you basically have to assume at this point, sure, they're missing a bow, they're missing a bomb bag. I guess they're missing Longshot is the other big one. One of those is in or locked behind Ice Cavern.
Yeah.
So the latter is definitely the one they're keeping an eye out for.
Yeah, I mean, finding letter, while you're still a child is obviously more useful because you can just turn it in straight away. And open up Ice Cavern, get that Way of the Hero available to you at the very least.
And it's going very far out of the way here to do frogs. I guess it's isolated if you don't do it now. Makes sense, but also is, I don't know, odd to see. Yeah, didn't pay out, but I guess kind of paid out, honestly. You probably don't complain about that, but...
36 isn't too bad, although for Vanta, I don't think there's many uses he can put them towards at this point.
Right.
Well, it's no Kokiri sword, but yeah, already done pretty much like half of the child era.
Alrighty, so we're gonna see the Darunia. We're gonna see exactly what Saria's was for, and whether or not it was deeper in forest.
Get up, have a day.
We still haven't even seen the hammer rocks yet, have we? Kevin never went over that way.
No, we're not seeing them yet. You're right.
So if it's not here, then that's kind of the next big check on the radar.
Yeah, I think we've seen pretty much all the other hammerlock stuff. I mean, unless you like count some bomblock stuff, I guess, but probably seen most of that as well at this point. A few grottos are still missing. Just a heart piece, so not the answer here today. Darunia not giving us what we need. So yeah, Saria must just be for Forest Temple access, which at the moment is looking like it's the hammer, but could be something deeper in.
Oh god, which method is Fanta doing here? Neither one's good. Strength or bomb
yeah.
shoot?
Looks like he's going for the strength method.
Oh,
maybe?
No. He was going up to try and stop the hot rodder with bomb chews there, I think, but then hit the wrong button, pulled out a stick and went, alright, fine,
yeah.
chew it is.
You missed the timing on that, it's not worth trying to recover it really, because you'll just end up wasting chews.
His timing might be slightly off here because he doesn't have a shield, and I'm pretty sure you're meant to shield drop the chew for this.
That could be a problem. Okay, we got the explosion there.
Yeah.
Did you get the right facing though?
I think with the setup it should work out, yeah.
Hey. Just another heart piece though, so still nothing useful out of this Chalgorma City.
And then one more dip just to reset the position of hot rodder. Oh, and then... Oh.
Nice. I have to admit I've had that happen more times than I would like.
Oh yeah, far too much. Definitely the same.
Nothing at all in Chalgorma City. That's a bit of an oof.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kevin go over that way at some point, partially on the grounds of, well, Saria's way of the hero. You want to try and check Darunia, and while you're there, you might as well check. But
yeah, for sure. Just not paying out, unfortunately. No, oh, excuse me. Nothing on the sunken bottle either.
I couldn't see what that was. There was a Zora in the way, but I'm guessing it was nothing.
It was a heart piece.
Oh, okay. Oh. We're gonna see Kevin presumably go over to Deku Tree then, and we're gonna see Fanta, I guess, go back adult and hunt around Spirit Temple. We'll eventually find Fins, a slingshot, probably chain that into the Kokiri sword pretty quickly as well.
Probably, yeah. Once you got Fins and that's open, makes sense to clear it out at that point.
I assume somewhere in that as well we'll see a save quit from Fanta to go to the Hammer Rock. Oh my...
Oh, we missed that. No. That's the other wallet.
Oh my god. So they're still just missing a bottle to get their bomb bag.
Yep.
If Hammer Rocks is a bottle... I don't know how I don't know how I will handle this. This is amazing. I actually think the more likely scenario is that the Hammer Rocks or whatever will lead to a bow.
Yeah, I mean, both kind of like the missing piece at this point, isn't it? Probably unlock the most checks, apart from bomb bag.
It'd put Kokiri sword in, it would put the rest of GTG in immediately. Kokiri sword would then put Ganon's in with strength 3. Like, there's just so much that opens up.
Right, so we should see Hammerocks here.
Straight to it. Follow that logic and... Oh my...
Nope. Still not the answer.
So...
Fanta not sticking around for GTG.
Right, nothing left for Fanta to do there, right?
Yeah, nothing is... Yeah, there's nothing new there, is there? Well, that's not true, actually. You could go and do toilet.
Well, sure. Nothing valuable to do. Oh, Kevin missing a bomb juice setup.
He's got the shield, so he's got no excuse.
Why has Fanta come to Kakariko right now?
I'm not sure. Where's he headed? Any of DMT apparently.
Right,
sure
I've already seen...
Not sure what he's after.
Oh, to Forest! Is Fanta going back to Forest?
Oh, could be, yeah. Shit, is this really the most efficient way to get to Forest? I guess it is.
No minuet, no bolero.
Oh, that's horrible. Ugh. Actually, I don't think this is the most efficient way to Forest. What I'd do is play Serenade, go across the field, because there's 2 grottos on the way there, and we've not seen those.
Right, I think this is the best way if you're like... hard... Oh, right, no, wait, yes. Fanta hasn't done the Crater Ferry. Okay.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Good catch, good catch.
It looks like
This makes perfect sense.
Needs to do the maze as well by the looks of things.
Did he not do this for strength? I thought they both did that earlier.
Apparently, Fanta did not.
Wow.
Kevin, finally getting the Lost Words hint.
Straight past the scrub. Alrighty, so... Now we go over to Spirit. There we go. That's kind of what I was expecting to see at some point soon, but
yeah, kind of what we're expecting to see, like the moment he turned adult, but
yeah, kind of.
Like, these will go eventually.
Then Spirit. Fanta hasn't done the Crater Ferry still, I'm pretty sure though, which is kind of worrying.
Mildly worrying, yeah. I mean, there's just a bloopy there or something, so it doesn't actually matter. Colossus left hand's Colossus right hand's the key. That's the Silver Gauntlet's chest.
So Spirit logically long shot locked, and well, that plays havoc with a lot of the key logic from here.
Spirit key logic, everyone's favourite.
I actually love Spirit key logic, but yeah, when there's multiple items to worry about, including a fire source in there when you don't have bombs, it's already bad enough as it is. Like, doesn't need a key on the right hand to make it worse.
Yeah, definitely. Right, is Deku Tree gonna give us something useful here? Bomb bag would be kind of nice, or a bottle so we can get the bomb bag. Either or, I guess, at this point. Maybe a bow, maybe nothing. This could just be a foolish Deku.
Bow at this point would be an interesting one because there's probably at this stage something else in Forest Temple.
Yeah, it looks
So
reasonable.
Bo
That hammer hasn't really led us anywhere useful.
And like, Saria's Way of the Hero has to lock Minuet. If it's the hammer, then it means that hammer leads to something that locks Minuet, which might just be first bomb bag still. Like, it still could be to get King Zora or to get any other bomb bag anywhere else. But if you get a bow, I think you just go straight back to Forest. Or maybe not straight back, but pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's potentially you do Water Temple first. Like, dip in there, see if you can find a couple of items.
Yeah, dipping water with... If you get the bow, you've got hookshot irons, you can dip water and just go to the boss key. But then... Yeah. And then I guess the issue is that if something is in Forest that has to lock Minuet, one of the items that could potentially do that still is the long shot, which would make water feel pretty terrible.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a menace. There's a bottle. Okay.
There's a bottle of blue fire.
Preloaded with blue fire, so you don't even have to go and buy any.
Right, it even gifted you the blue fire just to make it that much easier. So yeah, worth noting that is still not in logic, but now Boomerang, Slingshot, or another bomb bag puts that in. Any of those. Fanta's stopping for a second to think about whether to go up to the BMOS and just deciding not to, it looks like.
Interesting that Kevin is still picking up skulls here. So you may be missing one of the hints?
Huh. How many was he at there?
22 he's got now. So, unless he really wants to have FW, I don't know why he's still collecting them.
It could be a thing of like, oh, these take like a second each anyway, and if it gets me to FW, then great. But, well, you're not going to find 18 more of those, so if that's the case, save those 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, there's no reasonable scenario in which that 40 FW is worth it.
No, I think it's probably just Kevin might be missing one of those then.
Yeah, I've not been noticing where the hints were, so I don't remember like where we found out that information about the skulls, so it's possible he's just missed over one of them.
If you're collecting skulls at this point, and you're missing a hint, my instinct would be that you're missing a 30. If it's 40 or 50, you would just be like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna not do it and hope. But if it's 30, it's like close enough that it's reasonable.
Yeah, 30 you might be tempted to just go for without the hint, just in case, but 40 and 50 is not worth it.
40 was the one that was out of the way, wasn't it? Yeah, 40 was the only one that was kind of awkward. We've only seen one copy of that for certain.
The light arrows are in Spirit Temple. They're on the adult side hallway with the invisible chests. So Fanta's probably going to be getting those in like 2-3 minutes.
That key feeling terrible for Fanta as well.
Yeah, it's always a bit annoying when you have a key-locked key. Especially when it takes forever to get to it like that one does. Kevin's save walk there, so is he heading back to GTG maybe?
I guess part of it is that Kevin will still also be following that Saria. So there is a potential for Hammer Rocks and... oh, there we go, Hammer Rocks. And otherwise, yeah, I would not be surprised to see GTG at this point. Oh, this was his first save walk.
Of course, yeah, he's not been here yet.
Yeah, no, chat completely right. Yeah, he's not even checked that one. So now he was probably going to head here next. That is a setup I did not see for that crate.
This is turning into like the Fire Temple glitches jump. There's like 20 different setups of the one same trick.
Yeah, I can think of like 3 or 4 different ones off the top of my head already. So, yeah, kind of getting there.
There's a 40 hint.
That was a 40 hint. That explains it. Right. Fanta with lights, with dins.
Yeah, Kevin can definitely go to cannons now. There's 2 medallion to open the Rainbow Bridge on these settings, so
yeah,
I'd imagine that's going to be his next play.
I was going to say his 2 big options at this point are definitely Ganons and GTG, and I mean he was just in Gerudo Valley, like he was right next to Gerudo Fortress, ready to go in there. So presumably not going to the training grounds just yet, which...
Yeah, that might be... I'd imagine he'd probably want to go back to Spirit after this and just finish that off while he can. And then after that, maybe GTG.
Yeah, and the other big thing here is that, yes, we found a Kokiri sword in the graveyard, yes, we found magic in Kokiri Forest, but we've still not seen a second magic, and there was strength in both of those. You want to get these strength 3, even if they're not Way of the Hero, you want to get the strength 3 checks. They're one of your best, it's one of your best locations in the game at this point.
Okay, it was not the fairy fountain. So, in the castle, I think we can do pretty much everything except Shadow Trial at this point, right? All the other checks we should be okay with.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. Assuming, yep, still has a couple of bomb shoes left, so...
Yeah. Yeah, you only need one of those, thankfully.
And of finding either long shot or bow here would be enough to do Shadow Trial as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Long shot would not be how you want to do it, but you can. Long shot and dins has to be the worst combination for that check. It's, oh god, awful to do.
Yeah, it's not nice. I mean, there's worse things you have to do with a long shot, to be honest, but yeah.
Just the fact that you're on the time limit for it, it's like, okay, you've got to use dins on the torch, and then you've got a time limit to get to the chest.
There's another magic meter.
So that's intriguing, because Deku Tree was locked by magic. And that check is locked by a bomb bag.
Not by a bomb bag and a hook shot. The hook shot was basically free, so...
Right. So, out of logic, second magic.
Fanta is missing his bomb key, boss key.
Oh, child side it is, I guess.
Didn't do child side yet. Forgot we hadn't seen that yet.
Alrighty, I'm getting the treasure trove.
Alright, is this going to be our answer?
Oh? Fanta came all the way down to the grass and then doubled back for the grave.
It was out magic. Yeah, there's long shots.
And there is a long shot. So, yep, strengths were way the hero, which means Kokiri Forest's magic might not be. Oh, hey, a slingshot as well.
That's always handy.
So, Dins is even further out of logic now, but, you know, that would open up the Dins. It also most notably opens up Child Spirit, logically, which is nice.
Yeah.
I've already seen Storm's fairies at Gossip Stones. I love that. The giant fairy that restores your magic. Makes perfect sense, but yeah, I don't see it that often.
Yeah, just one of those cases when you use your magic up in frustration and then realise, oh crap, I want to do Shadow Temple now. And again, it's like we get to see that wonderful combination you were talking about earlier with
oh yeah, we got the long shot. So.
Long shot and Dins. And Kevin is not standing close enough to that like to get this. You have to be right on the edge of this platform.
You just wait at this point. Yep, there we go. Dins again. So this is one of the combinations for this chest. Without hover boots, you can't just long shot across here because then you wouldn't be able to get this jump. So yeah, long shot and Dins, and this is entirely in logic to do this.
Gotta love it when that happens. And it's a bloopy. All that for nothing.
Alrighty, so we have what? 4 checks left in Ganon's, I think? Warsaw, Forest Trial, and the Bosky chest, and one of them's a key. Alright.
Got the key. Nothing in Shadow Temple, early dip there.
And the key to your heart, Junus, don't worry. Alrighty, so Fanta is just gonna go straight to Deku Tree, like no surprise. But
one of his few options left at this point.
We'll pick up Childside Spirit on the way through, which is gonna be a nice bonus because Kevin's going to have to do a couple more age changes on the way before figuring out that is required.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking hugely likely at this point we're going to be able to chain much else in to that Child Era play, apart from doing Child's Life Spirit, because there's just not anything else open for Kevin in that era at the moment. Done everything else he can.
There's already a lot of potential here for a kind of back and forth section anyway, because again, Saria's being Way of the Hero, the likelihood is that there's something in Forest. Presumably at this point that would be the letter, because then Ice Cavern is also Way of the Hero, and at this point that's presumably either the boomerang or Sun Song locking the boomerang. So you're going to have to go and get your letter, go child, turn in a letter, go adult, go to Ice Cavern, get your boomerang, then go child again. There's already going to be a lot of age changes here, and I don't think, like, that's going to work out well for Kevin. Because it looks like he's just throwing in an extra 1 or 2 as well.
Yeah, getting back into adult side spirit without doing child side, that means, he's going to have to basically triple dip this dungeon now.
So no, we have not seen any field grottos other than, I think, the boulder.
Yeah, we did get Boulder and Destiny earlier, I want to say, but yeah, not seen any of the others, including the open grotto, which is an odd one to leave orphaned.
It kind of makes sense with how early, like, they got a hookshot and strength 2 within their, like, fast Sphere 0, and that is pretty stranded out the way, that open grotto otherwise, so now it would be a little more reasonable to get back to, you know, you make an adult play to Lake Hylia out to field and go up to the remote grotto.
Yeah, I mean, we've had opponents now for like ages, so it's not that hard to get to that grotto. It's just, yeah, I mean, probably not the most efficient thing to be doing right now, but it is Sphere 0, you know, one of the things open right at the start of the game, so you don't really want to leave it until like an hour and a half in to check it, because if it has something really important, you're going to feel like a bit of an arse when you find it eventually.
It is one of those things where it's like, it's balancing that like efficiency versus like what will my opponent do kind of thing. Is you've got to consider all the time that, like, okay, if Ruto's letter is just in the open grotto, I could potentially lose so much time if my opponent checks that early. But on the flip side, it's like, if I don't check it early and I can go there with Scarecrow set, have Hookshot, have like Hammer, I can just clear out field and lake and all of that in one swift go, then if it's not there and you end up basically full clearing, you're doing that more efficiently than most people.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've got everything we could really hope to want for that sort of area. You know, we've got Serenade, we've got, you know, Hammer, we can get into all the grottos quite easily. And Epona, so we're not even spending much time walking around.
I know Fanta did fishing earlier. I don't think Kevin did, right? As child.
No, I don't think Kevin must... Yeah, Kevin must have skipped it, because he's not got the other wallet yet.
So I would hazard a guess that Fanta has Scarecrow set as child, but Kevin doesn't as well. Which would then mean that, yeah, Fanta has a reasonable play to go over to Lake as adult and just loop all of that in, picking up Scarecrow on the way. Oh, Kevin did do it? Okay. Okay, so in that case, yeah, they both have that play available then.
Oh yeah, of course, Kevin's not got the G2G wallet yet, that's why he's missing.
Right, hasn't... That's incredible to me.
Yeah, Hammer is in Logic, kind of technically one of the few items we've got so far that actually is in Logic, because most of the other stuff is bomb locked. And Hammer hasn't really paid any dividends yet. But it is looking reasonably likely that it should lead to an item.
That Way of the Hero logic also pointing everything up that way, but... yeah, it's... how likely is it that it's like Ruto's letter in field though?
I think it's entirely possible.
Logically locking every bomb bag, that's so... I don't know... dicey. It's entirely possible, of course, that it's Hammer for Hyrule Field and there's just another bomb bag in Hyrule Field. That's also an option.
Yeah, it could
like,
just
there
be...
are 2 more bomb bags we know nothing about.
Yeah, it could just be bomb bag is in that open grotto and all this stuff about the hammer and things just complete red herring.
Alright, we are going to see this lake play from Kevin here. So, I assume you grab the lake checks out into field, pick up those 3 on the way to the remote grotto, and then make your way back to presumably Child Spirit, Dip Shadow maybe, Dip Water maybe.
Yeah, Kevin probably doesn't... Well, both of them probably want to hold off on the water dip so they find Bow at least, because it's not very useful to go in there without a bow.
Fanta remembering at the last minute that yes, child side spirit is actually important. Going adult right now, little preemptive.
Want to get this done first, because you know you have to.
Yeah, definitely been there a lot where you like jump the gun a little bit and okay, I want to go adult and then I can beat spirit and then I can do this and I can do this and wait, in order to beat spirit, I do in fact need a boss key. Like, I feel like it's worth... Oh, yeah. Fish are awful.
Yeah. Giving Kevin a bit of trouble there.
Like, I do feel like it's sometimes worth emphasizing the fact that, yeah, like, it's very easy to say, like, you know, oh, Fanta forgot to go and get the boss key first, or whatever, but it's like, when you're actively playing, you're juggling, like, 3 things at once. When you're spectating, it's very easy to focus on... Okay, here's what they have, here's what their next steps are, the end. When you've got to focus on execution on top of that, that becomes a much harder task to actually do.
Yeah, you've just got so much on your mind at once, it becomes quite a nuisance to try and keep it all tracked in your head.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was a slingshot on adult fishing.
Oh, nice.
So that puts in child side spirit, which puts in the dins, which puts in the Kokiri sword, which puts in Ganon's. Except for the magic is still not in Ganon's, but the magic in Kokiri Forest is. Oh, but we have the bomb bag for Zora's Domain because the bottle in Deku Tree. Yeah, never mind. Okay. So yeah, everything is in logic. Adult fishing for a slingshot was the missing piece. Because you needed the slingshot to do child side spirit to get your 3 keys to get dins.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Possibly.
So right, yeah, the flip side to that is the hammer has also still done nothing. And these field checks don't matter because there's a bomb bag in. So the rest of Forest is definitely important. Like, Saria's was Way of the Hero, Lost was Foolish, Darunia had nothing, the song was Serenade.
The thing is, for Forest, we definitely need either a bow, well, probably both a bow and hover boots to proceed. So, what's left that can actually be in there? It's pretty much Boomerang or Netta, right?
It would have to be Letter. For Ice Cavern to be Way of the Hero, it would have to be...
Oh yeah, because we still resolved Ice Cavern. Yeah, we weren't really paying attention to the keys at the bottom of the well, so I don't know if there was one that was bomb locked in there or not.
I mean, what did that lock anyway? It was the gold scale?
Gold scale was in Like room, yeah.
And the strength, it was the strength 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was in the other room. Ah, so that'd be why. But then the strength 3...
well, strength 3 gave us the other slingshot, which we don't care about, and the long shots. Yeah,
that doesn't affect. Yeah, that doesn't affect the bomb bags, so it's fine. So yeah, Fanta has done all of Adult Spirit, found out it was child locked, came back to get the boss key as child, and is now here on Twin Rover. Kevin has done the first stage of that, has got to the end, realised he needs to do child spirit.
Yeah, Kevin realised slightly earlier than Fanta that he was boss key locked and needed to do child spirit. So he just stopped and bowed out. And he'll come back here after he's done Child Era, whenever he gets around to doing that.
And Fanta, presumably, his next play will be Gavin's Castle. You've got to assume Strength 3, as early as it was, how powerful it is. He'll head that way relatively soon. The big thing for right now, the big difference, is that Kevin still hasn't done the Gerudo Training Grounds, and that is pretty, like, it's a pretty big location. If you're missing, you know, people, it's one of those weird ones, like, people don't want to go there without a bow, but they'll happily do it without Strength 2, and it's like, that's the same number of checks. It's 4 checks either way that those items last.
Yeah, well, it's 6 if you count horseback archery as well, I guess, but in this situation with our save quit literally right outside Gerudo Fortress, it doesn't matter about that, because you don't really have to worry about double dipping Gerudo area at that point if you can get to it so quickly and easily.
Right. So yeah, it is interesting, because that's kind of Kevin's big saving grace right now, is having skipped that. And if he finds a bow before that point and follows it to a forest, then yeah, that can definitely pay out. If he goes to GTG at this point, I think he's probably behind.
Oh, hello. That's the letter.
Letter.
Twin Rover had the letter. Well...
Wait. Oh my god. Is it bow in Ice Cavern to get boomerang from forest?
Could be. I mean...
Hovers in Ice Cavern to get... to go through shadow, to get a bow, to go to forest, to get the rank? Something like that?
Or it might just be hovers just straight up to go to forest and get to the Four Master chest.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where our bow is.
I think whatever... Oh god, if it's a bow in Floor Master, that is awful.
That's probably like one of the worst, like...
There was a match that happened in. I remember being on commentary where one of Namahai... And they just did things in different orders. But there was a bow on the Floor Master and that was it. That was the entire race.
Alright, save water from Kevin there, so I guess he's going to GGG now. The other slight possibility, I suppose, is that bow's in the toilet.
Also an option, yep. Also an option still. Also, we haven't seen a Frogs 2 hint yet. That one is actually the only, like, 2-copy hint that we haven't seen.
Yeah, could it be Ice Cavern where the hero to get Sunswung for frogs?
Yeah, no, Sarias would also play to that. That's actually...
Yeah. Yeah, we've been talking about Forest Temple all this time, but there is actually still one check that Sarias locks that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, we're missing 2 of the sometimes hints, but obviously there's only 1 copy of each of those in these settings. The only double hint that they are missing is frogs, which is terrifying.
Is it time to check those back of the lake hints? Have we reached that level of desperation?
After ice, you at least want the 2 here.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah,
if you go into ice and just get hovers, you don't care. Like, you don't care quite as much, I guess.
We know ice has definitely got to have something in it, although I suppose it could just be trolling us with like a tunic or something.
Sorry, Fanta side hops down the stairs, and this is one of those things that, like... I've made a point before on commentary, I will complain about the most, like, trivial time losses, where I'm like, this costs you, like, 2 seconds, don't do it. And people are like, 2 seconds isn't going to matter in most races. I'm like, but it's still just unnecessary time loss. You want to side hop upstairs and back walk down them.
Yeah, it feels faster when you side hop downstairs, just because you got those nice big, like, flowy jumps, but yeah, they're not actually faster.
I've ranted about this so many times with so many people now that it's almost become an in-joke that every time someone side hops downstairs, they're going to be like, "Oh, Yoshi's going to be mad at me." So
you do also, when you're going upstairs, you need to mash pretty damn fast for it to be actually quicker than backwalking. I'm not sure what the rate is, but yeah, if you don't get decent side hops there, it's almost not really worth it.
I know that on flat ground as Child Link, side hopping frame perfectly is faster, but if it's not frame perfect, then it's not faster.
Yeah. Stairs, you got a little bit more leeway, but yeah, not as much as you would like.
So also, yeah, we have some very spicy things going on here. We mentioned Kevin going into Gerudo Training Grounds earlier as a potential for him to lose time, and sure enough, that is what he's doing here. We have Fanta dipping Jabu.
Yeah, I mean, getting this play done isn't too bad. It's slightly better with FW, of course, because you don't have to worry about getting back here, but since our child save warp is Zora's domain, getting back here is actually pretty nice, pretty simple anyway. When
the logic has bottlenecked you so much, and you've got both Ganon's and Way of the Hero Ice Cavern open, dipping in just feels really inefficient.
I don't think it's that inefficient. Like, you got to do this bit anyway with, getting Rito out of the basement, whatever.
Yeah, if Fanta just like drops her here and warps, then I could see it. But like, if you've dipped in now, you're probably going to Rang Chest, which is.
Yeah, I mean, you do lose a little bit of time going to Rang Chest, but on the other hand, it gets this check out of the way. And while it's not very likely to have anything useful in it, if it does have something useful, it will fuck you over big time if you miss this chest out.
Right, if this is a bow and the hovers are in ice.
Yeah, this is a really, really bad chest to orphan. So yeah, getting it done when it's a medallion dungeon, I don't think is particularly terrible play.
Fanta doesn't. Oh, did Ruto hit there? I thought Ruto had missed. Best projectile in the game.
20 rupees though, so not paying out, unfortunately. We'll see if the toilet's got anything for us now.
Yeah. Kevin climbing out the toilet and getting...
Nice little bloopy.
Yeah, toilet as expected, filled with a bunch of shit.
Oh well. Unfortunately for Kevin, that was his one chance for GTG to actually pay out for him, where it didn't pay out for Fanta, since Fanta skipped that check earlier. But yeah, we know everything else that's available to us here is useless, so...
I think with that in mind then, you just have to put Fanta solidly ahead at this point between, Kevin is going to go from here, he's going to do Childside Spirit, beat Twin Rover, get the letter, go to Ice Cavern, basically following Fanta's steps after this point. Yeah, Kevin needs some really wonky logic.
If he skips that Jabu dip, he might save like half a minute over Fanta's route, but that's about it at the moment.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Fanta just rushing that Way of the Hero down, and I assume Fanta's on the same logic path that we've been on at this point. We mentioned that Fanta has the bingo background primarily. It's like that is one of the biggest things that you learn in bingo is figuring out the routing and figuring out like that quick decision making of, okay, these are my options, this is the information I have, what's my best goal? In bingo, honestly, it's slightly different because you're looking at, okay, what items do I need to get which squares? But it's that same mentality, and yeah, Fanta right now is going to be looking at, okay, Saria's Way of the Hero for something, Ice Cavern's Way of the Hero for something, there's probably an item in Forest, that means there's probably a bow or hovers in Ice. Still hasn't checked the Crater Ferry, but that also is part of that Saria's play.
Yeah. For Fanta, I think this is the last Hammerlock check in the world.
But this gives a bit more information on the Sarias, and also gets you to Ice Cavern. This is like the best of both worlds for the hints. And then I think you probably make a point to check the wait, why is Fanta going up this way
though? Summit Fairy, maybe?
Yeah, I guess it's just an efficiency thing. Again, there is always a chance that you get something like you get bow or hovers in Ice Cavern, and then you get the Rangin Forest, but then you're still trying to put together that missing piece. You're waiting for the other one of bow or hovers to show up.
Yeah. Still a lot of open questions on this.
Yeah, being a little bit thorough on the way through makes perfect sense at this stage. Maybe not to the point. I'm still a little taken back by the Jabu dip, but yeah, I guess one check out of a near enough 2-hour race so far.
Yeah, I mean it is still like on our progression route, so it's not that bad. If it was Stone Jabu, that'd be pretty awful, but
yeah,
Medallion is not too bad.
Yeah, it feels too thorough more than efficient, but like if that's the biggest criticism I've got in 2 hours, then this has been an incredibly well played race, because like, you know, not most people in 2 hours will make more mistakes than one. And even that is questionably a mistake.
Right, on to Ice Cavern. Wonder if Fanta's actually going to bother picking up that bomb bag or not. At this point, do you really even need it? I suppose we've got Bomb Tube Bowling maybe to worry about still.
Yeah, I feel like you probably grab the bombs going in, just because you don't have hovers to help with the glitchless jumps in ice.
We've got the blue fire, haven't we? I forgot about that.
Well, yeah, it's also, yeah, you've got the blue fire already, so you can grab it on the way in, and it's just like, for ground jumping through ice, that's incredible.
Yeah, that does help quite a bit. If you had to come out of Ice Cavern to come get them afterwards, maybe it wouldn't be worth it, I don't know. But they'll save time in Ice Cavern, so it's pretty much worth getting it here.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I'd imagine they
get 2 hours, everyone.
I'd imagine they both know the glitchless jumps in ice, given the basically given the background, given how much Kevin's been grinding. Like, Kevin started playing in June. I like, like Kevin has been playing Rando for 8 months, which is just unbelievable. Fanta.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Frogs 2 has the hover boots. It's a Frogs 2 seed. And the hint was fucking 2 hours in. Wow.
You know what? This might be the best Frogs 2 seed I have ever seen, because normally if it's Frogs, you're like, all my hints are terrible. They led to a bunch of
Speaking of frogs, there's another one. Not that that's going to be a useful frog.
Wow.
Yeah, so that means it's probably going to be it's going to be Sung here, isn't it? And there's a oh my god, there's a boomerang.
Here. Oh, what? This whole time it's like, oh, Rangin Forest, and you get like bow and ice to get you there, and then no, it's just frogs. It's just frogs the whole time.
It was frogs all along, and also we are a bow away from go mode now.
Oh my god.
So that's the last question we have to answer, is where the hell do we find a bow?
There'll be 1 in ice, 2 in shadow, like, it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, King Zora skill, that would have been pretty damn OP in this seed. Long shot was in Light Trial.
Right.
Yeah, Fanta will be running into that probably soon after this, I would imagine. So that game's open for a little while. There's
so
no bow
Fanta's,
there,
yeah.
though. There's no bow in there, though. We've already checked that.
Right. So yeah, Fanta's big thing right now is like Kevin is going through water to at least get the boss key here. And like depending on how late it is, you possibly just keep going, you possibly don't find the boss key because it's bow locked. Fanta has been playing very like, I want to say safe, but like basically the statistically best plays as opposed to like minor gambles or being kind of out the way with things for the most part. There's been a lot of following hints and stuff like that as well. So I think Fanta has firstly the advantage in terms of progression right now, but secondly, it is far more likely at this point that Fanta, well, I guess not more likely, but it is incredibly likely at this point that Fanta will go and do Ganon's pretty much first thing as like the next option. The next time you get the chance of, oh, I don't know where to go next, it's like, well, Ganon's is like 16 checks you can go and do in, you know, less than 10 minutes. Just go do that.
Yeah, definitely the most dense area left at this point. Once you run out of progression dungeons and where the hero locations to do, it's got to be your next thing on the list.
Yeah, and yeah, like Fanta has been playing for density and efficiency the entire way through, I think. So I definitely give the edge to Fanta here. The flip side to that is Kevin basically only has progression left. It's really putting off this child spirit right now.
I mean, it's partly because he's just been stuck in adult era this whole time, so yeah, you don't really want to have to go back to child just for one thing. He's probably hoping that he's going to run into the letter so he can get that handed in as well.
But as soon as he does do child spirit, as soon as he just like kind of gives in on it and goes there, you know, chain it into Twin Rover, into the letter, into Ice Cavern, into Rang, do Jabu, find out where the hovers are. Like, if water isn't bow locked, like you just beat the game at that point. You just do everything. Like, you're done. You need a bow for Ganon, but like
we still need to find one.
That's going to be in Shadow. It's fine. Like Shadow's so many checks.
Yeah, that's true. We've certainly got plenty to choose from in there.
I've got to say, I'm convinced.
There's 3 bows out there. Like, we've got to find one of them eventually, right?
Right. And like, I'm convinced in every seed, if you're going to go mode Shadow, missing like one item that's not going to be hinted, and you're just like, or like, if you're going to Shadow with one item remaining, whether that's, you know, a bow for Ganon or like Mirror Shield for Spirit or whatever, it's just in Shadow. It's always in Shadow. Unless it's hinted dead, it's in Shadow. Also, yeah, Fanta showing off a glitchless jumps anyway here. Like, again, that I expected both of them will know it. Fanta has that bingo background, and you know, one of the bingo squares is clearing however many silver rupee rooms. Ice Cavern's great for that. So Fanta's definitely going to know the fastest ways through ice. And Kevin's the kind of player who will have seen a strat and gone, I want to learn this, and just immediately learn it. Like every big strat. So yeah, be very surprised if either of them didn't know that.
King Zora did indeed have a bomb bag. We got a hint for that ages ago. Yeah, Fanta finally managed to pick it up, and there's our song, so Frogs 2 now open to us.
That is gross.
Ice Cavern, where the hero for sons, everybody.
So yeah, Fanta is just missing
the long
shot.
Oh, the long shot, yeah.
Yeah. And so what we're probably going to see here is that Fanta will go child, get the hovers, beat Jabu, then go back adult, potentially do Shadow first, but either way, we'll see Shadow into Ganon's or Ganon's into Shadow.
Yeah, I'd imagine, like, if you're in Fanta's shoes, you probably go do Shadow first, since you can full clear it and just get it done. It's like, go mode it, like the possibility is like you could go do Ganon's and then go mode Shadow, but you almost never get to go mode Shadow. Like it pretty much never happens.
Yeah,
so
the value in doing Ganon's first would be if you
if Ganon's
because after you beat Ganon, you then play Nocturne to get out, and you don't have to like save quit out and then whatever. But you know, if it's not in Ganon's and it's not in Shadow, where is it? Like, there's nowhere left to go at this point for Fanta, pretty much. So,
well, there's the rest of Forest Temple. I mean, we've resolved the way in Hero for Sarisong. That doesn't mean there can't still be another item in Forest.
True, yeah.
There's our boss key in water, so Kevin sorted that out. I expect if Fanta doesn't know it, he's going to be very quickly getting the GIF or whatever it is that's posted in the Discord with the song on it.
This is one of the bingo goals that can come up, is getting the frog's second reward. So again, I expect Fanta will just know this one very well. Fanta has a very big background in OOT, so stuff like this that's the same as vanilla, I expect, is Fanta's biggest strength. But yeah, where Fanta will struggle a bit more is sometimes going to be logic or the routing decisions that are rando specific. Actually, that's the point. I haven't checked that. We have the runner's survey. And yeah, sure enough, Fanta says, I don't know what my greatest strength is, but my weakness is being new to rando. I will still have the wrong ideas about logic, which can cause me to misinterpret.
Yeah, thankfully there's been really like too much in the way of logic weirdness on the seed. Obviously, it's been quite a journey to work out what the hell are where the heroes are, but there hasn't been many traps there.
Right? Yeah, it's like we got drawn around by Sarias, and so did they, both of them. But they kind of got the hammer from Forest and then went, okay, well, this didn't give me anything. And they didn't have a bow to go much further. So there wasn't any potential for, like, you know, going all the way to Phantom Ganon only to get drawn back out again.
No problem with the frog song there, so first try, get your hover boots, and now Fanta's off to finish off Jabby. So the letter is on Twin Rover, which means for Kevin, he needs to go back as child, go do Child Spirit, get his boss key, which he missed earlier, and then go back and do Adult Spirit and clear the dungeon. That pretty much locks the rest of his progression, apart from the bow, where we don't know where it is yet. The only bomb bag we found is the one on King Zora. We've not seen any of the others, so God knows where they are.
Does Kevin actually have a bomb bag right now? Where did you find it?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Was that
did
in
you pick
water?
one up? Maybe you did find one.
I missed that. Yeah, I completely skipped out on that one.
If he's got one, it must have been in water.
So yeah, they're gonna be hunting down the bow in Shadow Temple. But
You say sure it's going to be there.
where else can it be at this point? Like, genuinely, we've seen Ganon's from Kevin's side. It can't be in Forest.
I mean, you could potentially have a bow in Forest. It would just have to be like very early.
There are 3 more checks in Jabu. All 3.
Yeah, could be 3 bows in Jabu. Maybe you swallow them all. What else is there?
We've now got the Reader Grave, yeah. The Reader Grave is another one now.
We could potentially have one of the bows stuck in Fire Temple, actually, behind the bow locks section of it.
Yeah, and one could be deeper forest, so we could just be looking for one potentially if the others are bow locked.
Yeah.
Chicken. It could be chicken. We didn't see chickens done.
Oh man, if it's chickens this whole time.
I don't think we saw Skullmask either, for that matter. I think they both got Keaton and that
Skullmask is in Foolish Lost Woods, so that...
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that can't be it.
I had a conversation about that like 2 days ago about how sometimes you get a foolish hint and not associate it with the always one. Oh, Kevin didn't do this earlier because he dropped the chicken, right?
Yeah, he missed this one out. Makes sense to do it now, I guess, on the way while you're in the area.
I almost wonder if he's here more for the hint though than the
maybe. This hint was the 20 skull one, I think, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. Also, yeah, in Forest Temple, the Floor Master is... Wait, was the Floor Master definitely a key? They got
It's probably a key, yeah. They only got one key.
So they could have gone up, done the Floor Master, get a second... That's not enough. Yeah, that doesn't get the bow chest.
Well,
they're bow locked after that.
Well, they're both locked to that point, but there is still a block push as well.
Right. So, I guess if they're bow locked, it could be block push and the boss key chest, so Floor Master doesn't have to be a key within that. But yeah, we didn't see the Floor Master, and it's 1 in 3 to not be a key at that stage. So yeah, Kevin is hard committed to not age changing at this point, which I get it, and at the same time it's awkward because it's that thing of like, yes, don't take the time lost to not age changing, but also if you've got progression to do, like at some point you just have to do your progression. Oh, Phantom missed the...
It looks like he might be going for it now. I think he might have just picked up that bomb bag so he can get Bonchy Bowling done. No? Where's he going then?
Bonchy Bowling could be a bow, actually. We've not seen that still.
Yeah, there's that. Din's Fire Fairy we're not seen either, I don't think.
Yeah, true.
Big pose. I mean, that could be a bow lock bow on that.
We haven't seen one in Jabu so far, at least, so...
Yeah. Jabu not giving us any good so far, unfortunately.
Fanta's execution is really good. just tiny things that, like... I mean, both of these, you know, we kind of touched on it at the start, but both of these were very much kind of like dark horses coming into this tournament, like much kind of sleeper picks for top 32. But they've both just done so well in recent races. Really impressive. And this one is no different.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, especially on Vanta's side, there's been tons of great execution so far in this race. Okay, does Baronade have anything good for us? Double defense.
Oh, really? No.
And not bothering to pick it up.
Although, on that note then, while that comes up there though, can we just talk about the heart difference between the two runners right now? I know a lot of people use hearts as like an assessment of how much somebody has cleared in a seed. And obviously part of it here is that like the things that Fanta's done have been required while Kevin spent a lot of time doing stuff that ended up not being necessary. But a 5 heart difference is absurd.
Yeah, there's quite a big gap between the two of them.
Is this...
Oh, it's Kevin doing it. It's Kevin doing it. He's doing it. Poggers.
Ooh, desperation.
We get the chickens. 2 hour, 12-minute chickens. Yeah, that's not desperate at all, is it?
Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, chickens is a bad, like, you know, I don't think it's a bad play necessarily, but going out of your way to do chickens when you've got nothing else in the area generally means that you're desperate for something to pay out.
You're scraping the barrel a bit at this point.
Like, you do it combined with other stuff, or you just try to avoid it, and when you're in this situation, I mean, it makes sense as well, right? Because Kevin is probably down to, at this point, Child Spirit into Twin Rover, chickens, Castle Fairy, Bomb Tube Bowling. That might be it.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty much just scraps at this point, isn't it?
From his perspective, that might be it, and so it's like, yeah.
Well, Kevin knows where the hovers are now, right? So, but he can't get them, of course, without letter.
Don't... Did he check? No, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know where. Did he get the hint, or?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't see the hymn. Where was it? The hymn was in Fountain, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was behind the letter. So.
Right. So yeah, he's not seen that yet.
Yeah, so he doesn't know about the hovers yet, and is probably desperately hunting that letter, and it's going to do a full clear of Child here, which makes perfect sense given the situation. You've got like 5 checks left available, and 4 of them are Child. We know that the letter is on the 1 adult check out of those.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that well, it's kind of unfortunate with both our brothers really that they didn't do Child Spirit earlier. Like they could have just got it done, but both of them skipped it. But yeah, it's hurt Kevin the most here really, because he's just left it so late at this point, and it massively bottlenecks the seed right now. Nothing at all on chickens, so still looking for that bow.
It's fine, it'll be Falling Spikes room. I don't know, one of the top 2, I don't know which one, but it'll be in the Falling Spikes.
Bongo bow.
Definitely in shadow. Definitely in shadow though.
I mean, if it's in shadow but it's on Bongo, that means it's not the logical one, so that means we still were supposed to get a bow from somewhere else.
It could be the logical one at this point with...
Oh, because we've got long shot, yeah. Yeah.
Fanta doesn't. So if it's not in shadow, Fanta's actually... Well, I guess Fanta will know the 2 strats, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Fanta's worried about logic at this point, so as soon as he gets that bow, it's like, yeah, done. Don't care anymore.
There are 3 bows in the item pool, so yeah, this is incredibly unlucky to get down to this stage with no bow. Is pretty rare, to say the least.
Yeah, we managed to find all 3 strengths, we managed to find all 3 slingshots, and we found 0 bows.
And only 1 bomb, well, I guess 2 bomb bags, because Kevin got one as well. It took a hell of a long time for those to turn up as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure Kevin got the like any other bomb bag, and that might have just been a mistake on the tracker. You got the one from. He got the one from King Zora. I don't think he found another one. Yeah, he went to King Zora.
Oh, right, that would be the one he got. Right, okay. I forgot he went up there, that's all.
Oh, there's another bottle.
Finally. But yeah, like, we were talking earlier about the checks that Kevin has available for where the letter could be. And we're down to, you know, Castle Fairy and Twin Rover at this point for that.
Not Bomb Tree Bowling.
You add that in with what Fanta knows, and you only add, like, what? The Redead Grave? Is that it?
Probably.
Office doesn't open up anything else other than Shadow, the rest of Shadow. Suns doesn't open up anything else. Rang doesn't do anything else. Yeah, no, it's just the Redead Grave after this. Fanta hasn't done trials, so we'll go get the long shot and we'll clear out water. But
yeah, we saw a bit of water already. I don't remember how many items we got there. Might be one or two left.
I haven't got the dragon chest that had the others. So we're actually down to like the rest of Shadow, and then one check that can have the bow. It kind of has to be in Shadow at this point.
There was bomb lock bombs, although given how many cheese we've found this seed, could have got that bomb bag a fair bit earlier if they wanted to.
Also, yeah, nice happy go mode Shadow, but oh whoops, you're looking for your bow that's...
There's another bomb bag, oh my goodness.
So that does mean, because both of those are actually hard bomb locks as well, that does mean that the King Zora one was Way of the Hero.
Wow,
beautiful.
What a seed.
Love it. Oh, that one. I still cannot get over how good that one is. The fan straps.
Okay, so at this point, we found 3 slingshots, we found 3 bomb bags, we found 0 bows. We've also found nearly every pack of bomb cheese. All 4 bottles.
That is an interesting point though.
Magics.
Toxic pointing out there. So hovers were locked by Ice Cavern, so you need to Ruso's letter. Valera's locked by AD, which is locked by bombs. So you couldn't get that letter on the crater. You couldn't get the bottle on the crater. The one in Shadow was bomb locked. The one on Twin Rover is bomb locked. The bottle in the Deku Tree was Way of the Hero, yeah. The bottle of blue fire was Way of the Hero.
Nice.
Imagine getting that hint in this seed. Like, instead of telling you Temple of Time, it just tells you Deku Tree, and you're like, okay, cool. Avoid all the Saria's bait, and then still cry.
Bow on Bongo, still a possibility, yeah. Between that and the maze, we've got 4 checks left. Didn't see
Dragon in water had the boss key, but I don't think we saw Dark Link.
Yeah, we didn't get to Dark Link. Kevin, I think... No, he did have a long shot when he went in there, because he beat Morpher, of course, but failed, didn't bother doing Dark Link.
Got boss key and just left, yeah.
Letter is on Twin Rover, so Kevin is literally just about to get that. And then the boomerang is in Zora's Fountain.
Along with the frog's hint for hovers.
Yep.
So required item on Dark Link. You know, we joked earlier about the season 4 meta being go to Gerudo training grounds with like basically no items. The other one is just you just rush Dark Link. You just go straight to Dark Link.
Yeah, why not, right? And then Dark Link will have the one and only boat that's actually available to us.
Not seen a C-up strat for this before.
Yeah, that feels like more of a YOLO strat than the actual setup.
Or choose left though, that's...
Yeah, Fanta needs to get this. He's not got FW, so if he messes this up, it's going to cost him quite a bit of time.
He didn't open the shortcut either, yeah.
Well, you can go back and open the shortcut. That's not a huge problem, but yeah, it's
still right, we'd have to void out here and like then redo the boat to do the maze.
Yeah, which is probably why he's trying to set this up now rather than going to do the maze first, because otherwise void out wouldn't take him back.
Right, but at the same time, you want to do the maze in case you get a bug there.
Yeah. Oh, he's voided out anyway. Oh dear.
Oh, now you open the shortcut, I guess. No,
or not. He's got 3 cheese left.
Oh my god.
If it was me, I'd definitely open the shortcut, but yeah, Vanta's obviously, you know, he's a top 32 player, he's in a brackets match, he's got to take some risk sometime, I guess.
Vanta, this is Kevin, don't make it too obvious.
I mean, Vanilla Bow is possible, but I don't think that can be in Logic because of the key layout of Forest. We didn't get enough keys.
Yeah.
There's at least one bow lock key leading to the bow chest.
Fanta just standing here, not turning, not shielding or anything, does make me think he's looking up the strat now. Oh, there we go.
Right, looks like he's going for a setup now.
Is it the same sort of thing you were doing before, though? C-up. I've never seen C-up strat for this.
You know what? That's way off.
Oh.
2 more to go.
So the only version of this I've seen... Oh, that looks...
There we go. Yeah, he's got it.
Okay. I was going to say, the only version I've seen of this is, like, you start near the other side of the platform, like, near the boat side. And then do like a bunch of side hops across the wall, like 2 spins where you change your angle on the spin slash, and I've never seen a C-up setup for that, but like if you get it first try, it's probably way faster, but
if you get it first try, yeah.
Right.
Interesting, Kevin decided to just buy a fish there rather than actually catching one. I suppose if you've got the money for it and you save walk into the shop anyway, might as well grab it.
No way. I guess he did. Yeah, he's. Wait, did that one not die? Oh. Oof. There's. You know, I'm starting to panic.
If Bo's not here on this invisible Formaster chest, there's not many places left in Logic where it can be.
It's got to be the Redead Grave at that point, hasn't it?
Or Forest Temple.
Skull Mask? Oh, there's Kevin finding out it's frogs.
There's a bow.
There we go. Alright.
So, finally, right at the end of the sea, pretty much, Fanta enters go mode. Well, not quite. No, he's still not in go mode. He's still not got
Not even
long
got the long
shots.
shot yet. No,
Yikes.
has to go do cannons first and then go into the water.
Well, Fanta's
It means that we now know everything.
Yeah, we're in no mode now, finally, but yeah. I mean, Fanta's gotta do Ganon's Castle next, surely. Like, what else would he even think about doing?
Again, if it's not that at this point, you're looking at Bolok's checks and the Redead, and that's it. So he probably does the Redead Grave, and then plays Prelude and goes to Ganon's.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Like, you could, like, I mean, there are more Bolok checks out there than there are in Ganon's, like, just. But they're obviously, like, you know, all spread across the world. You got GTG, you got random water temple checks, you got Shoot the Sun, and all sorts of, like, all this gibberish. Whereas,
not to mention, like, so GTG, I don't know how many keys we had there, but
we're only missing one key, so there's like 3 items there.
Okay, so 3 there. Forest, we've already seen most of the items. So, like,
yeah,
Forest is actually really empty going through it. There's probably like 3 checks left in Forest.
Yeah, and they'll all be right at the end as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, it's Fanta could end up going to water first and doing that, but like
that's the only play that maybe would make sense, is maybe dipping water, because yeah, it's progression obviously, but dipping water doesn't feel very good without a long shot. It's not very nice.
I think you just gotta follow through to Ganon's at this point. It's like half. There are probably more Ganon's checks in the game right now than other checks.
I think it's probably maybe swinging slightly towards outside rather than inside, but only just.
Oh, we got like 3, 6, 7. Water would put it up to 11. 12 on adult shooting.
Bear in mind for Fanta, he's still got some child checks to do as well. He never did bomb shoot bowling and that sort of thing.
Right, yeah. And then I guess, yeah, pose and HBA would be like 15 there, bomb shoot bowling and carry. Yeah, so you're probably... Fanta has slightly more outside than in. But, yeah. It's definitely close, and these are a lot more dense, so...
Yeah, Bo was asked to enter Shadow Temple, invisible Floor Master chest.
And worst. This was something.
This was a seed, alright.
The fact that the frog's hint was so late, and that the bow was like locked away in the middle of nowhere, or behind the frog's hint that was in the middle of nowhere. I guess.
Stop that! Go on, sheep. Sorry, my cat is just trying to destroy my headphone cable.
But yeah, the fact that, like, everything's been buried away, it's like... Frog's 2 seeds I tend to not be a fan of. I tend to think they're really boring in terms of logic and decision-making. Because it's just like... Oh look, I got 4 Way of the Hero hints. It was Saria's, Sunsong, Storms, like, great. It just kind of railroads everything. But when the hint is that late, then it gets a little more interesting. Oh, Kevin picking up the lens at the bottom of the lake. Jeez, okay, I guess that was another one, yeah. I guess that was another one that was open the whole time.
Yeah, Fanta must have looked at that and decided, just, nope, I don't want it.
Right, it's lens game, I'm out. I'm done.
So interestingly enough, I think we've now pretty much found everything in the game, apart from those other 2 bows. Like, almost all the items have been found now. I mean, the only thing really is, we've not found Neru's Love.
I think we did. No, Neru's Love was, Oh, where was that? That definitely showed up. I don't remember now.
Mm.
I remember. Jabu. It was the first check in Jabu that.
Okay.
The first tentacle in Jabu, because I remember saying it was going to be a bow.
Right, fair enough. We didn't find either of the tunics, although of course we got both the wallets, so you could just buy those. Don't think we saw ice arrows. And then that's basically it. Everything else has been found.
Yeah.
So where the hell are the other two bows? I'm guessing they must be bow locked in some way. Like,
further in forest.
Deeper forest, GGG maybe, fire temple.
Horseback archery.
Oh, yeah. There's actually quite a few places that they could have lurked in, I guess. You never really think about like how much of the seed bow locks, but
fire is probably a fun one in this situation for that as well, because it's you know, the bow is hover locked. I guess. Yeah, so it's like you've got the potential of being bow locked in fire and needing the hovers to beat Volve.
Yeah, it kind of depends where the boss key is.
The way this played out.
Yeah, big players could have one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we even got all 4 bottles as well, so we know where we're not finding a big Poe lying around. Oh, Ice Arrows was Skull Kid, I guess. Yeah, Kevin has that, yeah. Doesn't have Nehru's yet, but will probably get it in Jabu. And of course, nobody has Roars, but we know that's on 40 skulls. Neither of them are getting from. Yeah,
they could get it if they really wanted to, but yeah, there's no way they'd actually ever want to put all that effort into it.
Also, I'm just going to mention, there's the question in chat about learning the logic. The best way to do this is to ask questions in the Discord. That is the best way to find out more about how everything works, because there are a couple of people in particular who are very good with the logic. Outside of that, play a lot and watch a lot, because, you know, we've spoken so much about the logic being a mess today. But,
yeah, scenes like this probably aren't the best thing to learn logic from, just because it's just been a bit all over the place, but yeah.
Yeah, you can learn the intricate quirks. They're definitely a bad starting point.
Yeah.
And I guess while we're on the note of talking about the Discord, it's honestly, it's good to ask questions and talk to people in the Discord anyway, because the community is really good for helping out with stuff, and it's also the best way to get involved and watch races. I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah, watching races is a really good way to like get better at the game. It's like, it seems odd, but just like, yeah, being able to see other people play it and kind of seeing what they do. Yeah, it will help you kind of understand like what makes a good decision, what makes a bad decision, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the second race I ever commentated, I got the logic completely wrong on it, and so I went into the Discord like, right, I need somebody to just send me every guide you have for every piece of logic, because I don't want to get to the position where I'm on commentary just saying the complete wrong stuff again.
Ooh, Fanta's going for the strat here. See if he can get it. Is it a 2-frame window for this one?
Something like that?
Oh,
there
he's got it. Nice. Very nice. The boss key, by the way, is on the dragon chest, so it's possible Fanta's going to do that one last, which is a bit of a pain in the butt.
Yeah. The full clear water.
Yeah, feels bad, especially when you're in go mode.
And I guess while we're going back quickly to the community stuff, while we're on the topic of the community being amazing, we should also take the opportunity to shout out the trackers. These restreams would not function the way they do without the trackers working behind the scenes to keep everything looking good on the front end, making sure who's got what items. So the hidden heroes. So
absolutely, yeah.
Right.
There's always a lot to keep track of in these games, so it definitely helps to have some help with that.
Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Tommeltach? Tommeltach? Either way. Sorry if I butcher the names. But yes, thank you to the trackers for helping out, because yeah, we sure as hell would not be able to do commentary half as well if we're also trying to figure out who's got what the entire way. And keeping in mind, we're doing that half the time already with the trackers, so it'd be a lot worse without.
Yeah, if you want to sign up, there is a volunteer form. You can go stick your details in that and yeah, help us do these streams. It'll be awesome. Right now, of course, we've got absolutely tons of these bracket matches going on. Over this weekend, I think we're doing like 3, 4, maybe 5 of them. Oh, Bosky was here. I was wrong.
Oh, okay, I thought
it was Central Pillar. I thought it was Dragon Chest as well, yeah. They do look quite similar, in fairness, like where that chest is.
Layout behind it and everything, yeah.
Kevin is doing Frog's Tooth and Hover Boots. He knows
Frog's Tooth Hovers. Get to Shadow, get a bow there, and then Jabu on the way through as well.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Then Fanta will have finished. Most likely at this rate, unfortunately for Kevin.
Yeah, as soon as Water Temple's done here, it's straight over to Ganondorf, and that'll be that. So yeah, I imagine Kevin's maybe going to get about halfway through Shadow or something like that after this. Oh, actually, still got to do Jabu, hasn't he? I forgot about that.
Yeah, probably getting like into Shadow, but not particularly far.
Might not get to Shadow, to be honest. I don't know. Fanta's not got long to go here.
And you're going to do all the checks in Jabu in case the bow is there.
Yeah.
So I guess now is a good time to say, and I'll bring it up to the runners themselves later, but so moving on in the bracket, you know, I think it's pretty safe to say Fanta wins at this point, and we'll move on to face number 1 seed. What the hell's happened?
Ooh,
that is like
scary.
An old school OoT showdown as well. That's great. Like, two people who've been around in the OoT community since forever. You know, two of the higher execution runners who both will both say that their potential weakness is that they get caught up in their own heads sometimes. So this could be a really fun one on that end. Kevin's still in double elimination tournament, and this is on winner's side. Kevin will drop down to face the number 30 seed Phoenix Feather, who I've heard Sponge recently describe Fanta as the new Phoenix Feather. So that'll be an interesting one for Kevin, basically going into a very similar matchup to this.
Yeah, those are both really strong contenders. I mean, What the Hell's is like almost in a league of his own. But yeah, Phoenix as well is a pretty strong player, and definitely would not count them out this tournament just yet.
Piaf is, I think, probably the most underseeded player in the top 32. Had a kind of rough time with quals, but still enough to qualify. It's definitely going to be a really interesting. I mean, this one was a really interesting, really close match that basically came down to a couple of big decisions. If we're saying that match is going to be similar, I'm very excited for that one as well.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Kevin is 25th seed. It doesn't come out on the layout because he's changed his name. So the system's gotten a bit confused.
Kevin Quirty Quaff 8 to 18.
Yeah,
just waiting to break the neck at this point.
Yeah, it should still like link through because it should be based on like his Twitch ID or whatever. But yeah, blame Trez, I guess.
I have to start pronouncing Kevin's like entire username because I used to just because it was always Kevin or QWERTYcraft. I used to always just say QWERTY Kevin so people knew exactly who I meant. I'm gonna have to start saying QWERTY Kevin 818 now.
We could just call him the runner formerly known as Kevin.
Yeah, the runner of many names.
Just about to enter the Ganon fight now, so yeah, Kevin's not going to be racing Shadow Temple, I think, at this point. Probably just about get to the end of Jabby, but that's as far as he goes.
Yeah. Jabu is not the fastest of dungeons to finish, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you kind of think, well, it's a child dungeon, it can't be that long, but actually it does kind of drag on a bit. I mean, not quite as bad as like Forest or Shadow Temple, but it's still, you know, still a bit of a lengthy one.
Yeah, if you're go moding it, it's like it feels way faster. Or if you're dipping in and then just like leaving after the first 3 checks, great. But these tentacle fights are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Alrighty, closing in on the end for Fanta, so we're probably looking at what, like a 246 something at this point? Maybe a 247?
Yeah, roughly that.
Also, I guess now is also a good time if chat have questions to ask the runners. Now is a good time to get them in. I imagine we'll have a few of our own.
We'll be getting them both in for an interview very shortly, yeah, so have a little chat about what they think of the seed.
I can imagine they will have some very choice words.
Alright, final hit time for Fanta.
Really efficient fight there, didn't get sent spinning by Ganon at all or anything.
GG's. 2 hours, 46 minutes, 16 seconds. Given the run around and like linearity we had on that seed, that's a pretty damn good time, I'd say.
Yeah.
Right,
It's one of those ones that kind of went both ways in that regard. Like, they had to go around and run halfway around the world, but also they were locked out of a fair amount of it, so I guess it balanced out.
Pretty much. Right, let's bring our runners in. Drag them across. Hello, Fanta.
Hello.
Welcome. GG.
Yeah, GG's Fanta.
GG.
I guess to dive in at the deep end, the frogs hint. What were your thoughts?
I was expecting it at that point. I was really expecting that.
I was fully prepared to go back into Forest Temple.
Yeah, I was just with no kind of expecting frogs to make an appearance. I don't know, with the Saria Swath and that hammer and Forest Temple leading to literally absolutely nothing. I was kind of expecting frogs at some point. His bow was kind of looking like go mode with Rang and Fountain. It officially was, but yeah.
We were
just
up until
really
that
didn't want to be found, did they?
I think up until that point we'd very much been on like, oh, okay, so there's something in forest and that's why Saria's is required, and then there's something in ice, and then it suddenly dawned that like we've not seen a frog's hint. Oh, it's that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much the same thing I was thinking.
I just put off Child Spirit, which is definitely my fault, but I got punished to the maximum extent for it. So that feels really fucking bad. I cleared the entire game. So
yeah, there was a point, I think, like, it's one of those things where on the one hand it's progression, and on the other hand it's like you don't want to keep changing age just to do like a couple of checks of progression that doesn't actually lead to anything.
Yeah, because at the point that I had done it was officially a key and a boss key in Child Spirit, so the only check left in Spirit Temple is Svenrova. So playing against the odds, it's probably not there since I had like 20, 25 more things to do at least.
Right, and then I think we were kind of trying to track it at the time, and we might have missed some. But there was a point where you did a bunch of adult stuff. You went and beat water. You did some overworld stuff on the way through, and then you went back to child, and I think we were like, okay, there are 5 checks left that you have open to you right now, and it's 4 of them are as child, and the last one is Twin Rover.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a good situation to be in, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, basically do Child Spirit earlier, then actually rush progression, and then skip like literally everything, which I assume is just what Fanta did. Because there's so much you can skip. Like there's no reason to go do like anything that I did if you just go do Spirit and get your Rudos, because you have so much Wath and progression to follow.
Yeah, the letter just kind of like, it was a real bottleneck for this seed.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as you got that, it was just like, yeah, okay, go to Ice Cavern, go get the stuff there, go do Shadow, go do all that. Go get the one bow that is actually available to you.
For what it's worth, in the early game, I think, Kevin, you ended up skipping more early on and getting away with that there, but obviously you came back to do it later. And so, like, Fanta did GTG relatively early, but, you know, if your last location something, it doesn't matter how much you skip the early game because you're going back to it.
Yeah. I mean, part of why I'd skipped GTG for so long is just, I mean, I had enough to do, and I hadn't checked adult spawn until like over an hour in, which I just never felt the need to check the adult spawn really. But yeah, I mean, I almost got away with skipping, and if I just do Child Spirit, then I can probably skip GTG this seed fairly easily, honestly.
Yeah, GG was just kind of like a bit of a trap really for this seed. Like there was nothing useful there, and not really anything pointing you towards it. I mean, I know obviously we had the save warp location there and Epona's, but there's not really anything kind of like forcing you to do it. Like you always kind of have better options in general, like either way the hero areas or progression areas. But yeah, sometimes they just do, like obviously GT is just so check dense, and when your progression area is like, you know, 1 or maybe 2 checks, it starts to become a bit more of a toss-up. It's like which one you want to go for.
Yeah, for what it's worth, like I think skipping it in this seed would have probably been a mistake at that point.
Yeah.
You could get away with it.
Skipping it to go do Wild Spirit and then check Twin Nova would definitely be a mistake. But yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad. It's my own fault for not doing it, but like getting punished that hard just fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. It's one of those things where it's like you can see where it could be improved, but it's usually not that bad.
Yeah, it's usually not like 45 minutes plus.
I guess the bright side to it all is, of course, double elimination. Like,
yeah, this was winner's bracket, so
yeah,
not out of it. Yeah.
So you both know who you're coming up against next, I guess.
Should be Phoenix Feather, right?
Yeah. So to touch on those, I guess a bit. Fanta, I'll start with you. Number 1 seed. What the hell's happened?
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
We were kind of saying, you know, obviously you've got the background in OOT, primarily in bingo. And What the Hells has kind of been around the OOT community as a whole for quite a while at this point. Have you two raced in other tournaments? Has this come up before elsewhere, or is this like the first time you two will have gone 1v1?
I actually didn't know who What the Hells was until I started playing Rando. So I've never even interacted with him before that, so it'll be the first time we're racing with each other.
Should be quite a match, though.
Yeah, very excited to see that one. And Kevin, on your end, I mean, Phoenix.
Kind of the same story with Phoenix. Kind of like a vanilla OOT player.
Right.
And obviously, like, way underseeded in this tournament. I mean, he got, what, like, year, like, 6th or something? So, yeah.
Yeah, last season was,
like, scary.
High. Yeah, like, it's interesting. We touched on it earlier, but Phoenix's kind of history in OOT is very similar to Fanta's. So it's going to be a very kind of similar matchup for you to this one, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably gonna prepare for it about the same way. I've 1v1 Phoenix a couple times, but gonna need to do it some more for sure.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Yep.
Or at least makes slightly better.
It's a really fun matchup from our end as well for both this one and you versus Phoenix at that as well, because it's you know, on one hand you've got someone who's been around OOT for a long time but is relatively new-ish to Rando, but has that execution edge and has that, like, the years of experience. And on the other hand, you've been playing, what, 8 months?
I started in June, so yeah, about done.
Which is the kind of got the experience versus the grinding, like the without a doubt the biggest grinder in the community at this point, I think. So yeah, it's really interesting to commentate and really interesting to see these races.
Excited for it. Definitely still a lot of tournament to play, so can't get too down. Just gotta, I don't know, not skip Child Spirit in the future.
Good approach to have. You gotta just like move on, focus on the next match, keep going with it.
Yeah, continue forwards.
All right. Any other thoughts on the seed? Any other thoughts on upcoming matches? Any general things you want to add?
No, not really anything for me.
Yeah, it was honestly like a pretty straightforward seed, honestly. Obviously, like getting Saria's Wath early and finding the hammer and then absolutely nothing behind it is really confusing, but other than that, it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that hit was kind of baitish, really. There was something else in Forest Temple. Phantom Ganon had one of the bows.
Oh, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The other one was Shoot the Sun, so you weren't getting either of those this seed, unfortunately. Yeah. Shadow Temple was the only one.
Yeah, the logic in this seed was amazing. We it came up in chat at one point that the bottle in the Deku Tree was Way of the Hero in this seed.
Yeah, it had to be for that bomb bag.
Which, like, the logic of the seed was amazing. It just didn't play that way because you got chews just thrown at you all over the place.
Which of the wallets were bomb locked?
It was no, it was all the other bottles were.
Yeah, you needed the bottles to unfork King Zora, or for King Zora, I should say. So all the bottles in. We had the letter obviously on Twin Rover, that was bomb locked. The one on the volcano, you needed hover boots to get to it, hence bomb locked, and then Shadow Temple. So yeah. Bit of a mad seed, but well, this is what happens when I come back to Rando, I guess.
Yeah, I was a little concerned early on because I forgot to read the dungeons, which is why I
you missed the battle
so early, essentially. So I wanted to save up after Dampe to hope it was in market, so I could go check them, but it was in Valley, which was not really what I wanted.
Completely missed that. Wow. Okay. Damn. Oh, worked out. Or I guess wasn't costly is the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't bite you too hard.
I thought it was quite far behind because of that. GTG was just so empty.
I mean, GTG maybe could have been like a problem for you if Kevin hadn't done it as well. So yeah, it was on edge really, I suppose. So you made that mistake early, Kevin made it later, but yeah, it balanced out in the end.
Alrighty, I guess that is that. Wrap things up from here, I guess.
Yeah, let's jump on over to ZSR2, I guess. We've got the other bracket match going on there at the moment. It is KC Necro versus Gavaroni. They're 2 hours in, so getting there. Oh, I didn't do the prediction. Let me finish that off before we wrap up. Let me just set the results on there if I can. Come on.
I guess I'll take this time to just say thanks again for the race. This was great to watch, even if playing it was kind of linear. And really enjoyed commentating this.
God damn it, I cannot find the button for the prediction thing. I want to get this done before the stream ends, otherwise it won't work. It's on the moderation page, isn't it? God damn it.
We'll also say to everyone still around, in case you haven't already, follow the runners. They put on an amazing race today. You got two of the both relatively new to the rando community, both in top 32 and performing like this. Definitely give them a follow because this has been amazing. Thanks again to our trackers. We have Maraba and Tomultak, who've done an excellent job keeping up with everything today. And I'll thank Din for being a co-com and restreamer. Normally we thank the restreamer separately, but if you're doing both, then yeah.
It's always fun, you know. Why not just do both? It's not like not like I haven't got enough work to do or whatever. So let's get it all in one go. Get it all in one go. Right, and once I know how to do my job, it's a lot easier. So there we go. Prediction done. Enjoy your points, and let's go raid CSR2 and see how that's getting on, shall we? Let's go, and yeah, just thanks to my co-commentator as well, to Yoshi, and to all of you for watching as well. Cheers, and see you again soon.
Right. Thanks. See you.
Yeah, GG's Fanta. Thanks for the restream, guys.